right? There's other people that will, and they will defend your safety if you're lucky enough to have one at the right time standing near you, right?
I have to defend myself.
Yeah, what are you afraid of? I mean, what about it? What makes you feel it?
About what, the 9?
Yeah, about carrying a pistol.
Oh no, my hesitancy is the power of a 9 and the destruction. I'd rather stop someone, but I don't want them to die. I know that sounds terrible, okay? or it doesn't make sense. But I really, I'll okay, here we go, ready? I'll fuck up a bitch. But I don't want to, outward, I know it's not realistic that, to hurt somebody that makes them stop. I just feel like, as a civilian, I don't have enough training, frankly, for me to feel as confident having that kind of power in my hands. And that's on me. That's not on anybody else except me, because I have to go to the range and frickin' practice.
Exactly. Well, that's a responsible way to think. But that's responsible.
Yeah, because how am I going to get comfortable unless I practice with,
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's that's why I was joking with the Walter PP case, because I'm like, damn it, I still have a frickin' scar on my thumb because it has so much kickback, and I'm like, that's not funny.
The reason I don't carry one is because I'm a borderline very mildly autistic about clothing on my person, like waistband lines and sock lines and things touching. I hate it, right? And so there's no comfortable way that I could carry something that's shaped and as heavy as a 9mm pistol on me at all times. There's absolutely no comfortable way I could have that on my body. I've already explored it. It just wouldn't work.
I concur. I don't even like tags on my clothing.
I know, it's a really weird reason, right? But it's just true. It's you'd have to have it in your pocket, which would never work for me. You'd have to have it strapped around your leg, absolutely not. It just wouldn't work.
Understood. Well, that's why I was the convenience of the 22, and I saw there were so many of them, and
The problem with the 22 is it has no stopping power. It's fine for target practice, but the actual reason you would carry a weapon on you like that for safety, it doesn't provide you that. It's okay for murdering someone if you just literally walk up and pop in the head with it. But as far as stopping power for somebody that had a rifle or something, it's not going to stop them.
Understood. Okay, thank you for the discussion, because I'm trying to get myself more and more comfortable with something that folks.
38, a small 38 would do it for sure.
Okay. Thank you. I have
that would be to get a real pocket size, like a lady's version of the 38 or something, and they go.
Hello?
Hey, are you recording this?
I'm live on YouTube, yeah.
Oh, I sent you a message in your DMs. Amir and his crew are combing through your stuff, trying to find dirt on Zionists, just so you know.
Oh, okay, yeah, don't worry about it. They can't find any dirt on me. It's just dirt looking for themselves.
Okay. And also, how do you say? Also, he probably is gonna. It's also because he's been very vigilant in your videos. Also, are they canceling your accounts? I think that he and his group are mass reporting you.
Yeah, they did. They canceled 4 of my Clubhouse accounts.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know, because I didn't know he was posting some of your recordings that he had combed through and clipped up.
Okay, cool. Good for him. I'm wasting his time, and that's exactly what I want to do. I appreciate it.
No problem. Talk to you later.
Okay, talk to you soon, babe.
And I may not be the most responsible, meaning I haven't practiced enough to I certainly won't have it on a person until I get comfortable. But I think that people need to have it, especially women. Can I tell you about a thing that really prompted me to? It was just really scary. like, carrying or whatever, or having something of that degree, on your person or your body. I was moving into my home, and I had Kitovers with me, and it lasted about 2 minutes.
Blocking the walk channel, and there was a girl that was kind of in the area, and I was on the other side. But anyway, point is, she was afraid. She thought that I was just like blocking her in. I was physically intimidating, whatever. And I was kind of demanding them bring my dinner out because they were giving me shit about the timing, and I was like, no, I can't have the dinner at the end of the because they immediately need me to work. Like, I need to get served when the bridegroom gets served. It's a common problem, honestly. But anyway, point is, because there was some slight contention going on, and because I was positioned in this manner, she was afraid of me. And I was like, fuck, it didn't dawn on me. So a lot of times, like when I'm jogging or walking on the street, on a sidewalk, whatever, if there's a girl coming toward me, a lot of times I'll switch sides. I'll go to the other side of the road before it's an issue because I don't want her to think I'm going to grab her or something. I think about that on her behalf, which is not easy to do when it's not on your radar otherwise. It's an entitlement that I have. I never worry about getting kidnapped. It also is again still listed. Am I still heard? I know it's quiet here for a reason, but everyone's not. It also dawned on me, my daughter, who is 18 and super, super cute and attractive, half Asian, half white, so she's kind of unique in Georgia, to top it all off, which makes her even kind of more interesting to people. Everybody stares at her, and it's creepy as fuck because she should start pointing it out to me when I start looking for guys doing it when I go out with her. And dude, I see it all the time now, and it's creepy as fuck because I never saw it before. But then she didn't want a job, and I was like, you should go work at Home Depot. Like, I loved working at the store when I was there. She's like, oh no, I could never do that. All the Hispanic day laborers and stuff, they would just eyeball me up and down, and it'd be creepy as fuck. Like, I couldn't do that. And I thought, oh, that sucks. Like, there's places you can't even work because of how you're gonna be like Googled. Like that was weird to kind of think about.
What's up, ladies? I love Mike Moon. I so appreciate him. I don't agree with him, but man, I enjoy listening to him.
Right back.
Man, I wish he was still here because I would love to understand that way of thinking that you're gonna control the situation and even the criminals won't have guns and the whole utopia thing, like it's gonna be a Meritopia, which is a great book, by the way. But it's just crazy. I'd love to understand that mind frame and that way of thinking. I'd love to understand the logic in that. Because I would join that society, but to assure that is impossible. I don't think anyone could come up with all the facts and all the rules you'd need and how you would assure that safety. It's impossible, and it's not the job of the government. And so that we even go through these conversations and these mental exercises, I don't understand. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think so.
Well, you might be, but not for this reason. I'm driving, so I can't unmute much. So just to let you know, guys.
No, all good. No, I just had to get that out of my head because I'm sitting there trying to understand how Mike would achieve his. And is he Canadian? I don't think so. But
oh, no. Yeah, I think the point.
I love your hair, Edie. I think it looks great.
My hair.
Well, wasn't it blue before?
Oh, that was purple, but it was a filter. I do have it actually purple in the back. You can't. It's not in that picture, but that all purple was a filter. It wasn't actually that color. So there.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to go potty.
That's okay. I think
I'm being a good water drinker.
Yeah, the guns being part of our Constitution, the right to bear arms, is too much a part of American culture where you can't in Australia, they did the taking the guns back in the 90s, but I think I don't know who was talking, but said America's different. I think that's true, and I think you can't achieve something like that here. It just wouldn't work at this point. The cat's already out of the bag. I think you can ban assault rifles, things like that just are nobody needs. No civilian needs that, but banning guns altogether I think would never work here.
Well, and the threat of it, like I said in the chat, the threat of it over the last 3 decades has contributed to the largest buying of arms ever.
Right.
It's 3 to 4 firearms per person now. It used to be 2, and it's going up to almost 4 now, I think.
Yeah.
That's every person. Every person in the United States, there's enough for almost 4, I think. It's up to 3 per person,
Yeah.
for every single person.
It just, I think that, I don't know, I think people are just becoming more aware. They're becoming more aware of the threats in their neighborhood. Like, for example, okay, what I mean by aware is, when I was a little girl, there were a lot of predators around that the parents were absolutely oblivious, unfortunately. And because we grew up, I'm a Gen X, and because we grew up and now are no longer ashamed, or whether they have been tampered with or not, they know someone who has been, and they're like, that's ridiculous. And especially to the extent, even if it was just 1 in, I don't know, 20 or something, but the ridiculousness that it's 1 in 4, and there's probably even more because of generous statistics. Let's just say, because I don't trust statistics. Anyway, I think people are becoming more aware now that there are dangers. There are more dangers. Like, there never was a thing called you could keep your porch door unlocked and everything would be fine, because the people who counter that, they're frankly they're no longer here to state otherwise, or they're too afraid to speak because
I just feel
that
like
shame of being tampered
as a
with.
civilian, I don't have enough
I
training
don't think that
for me to feel as confident
that world
having
ever
that
really existed.
in my hands.
Kind of like the
That's
nonsense
on me.
of
That's not on anybody else except me,
thinking
because
that
I have to go to
the President of the United States would be
Exactly.
okay
That's
and would be safe driving in a convertible down a road in Dallas.
Yeah, because how am I
Like,
gonna
that
get
was
comfortable?
just unthought of. Like, can't believe somebody would do that. Are you
And at the
serious?
same
Like,
time, it's like,
yes,
like
it's
so that's why I
hindsight,
was joking with
but
the author people.
we have learned,
Because I'm like,
right?
damn it, like I still have a freaking
So now that
scar
we know
on my
better.
thumb because it has so much
I was
kickback.
going to say,
And
when
I'm like,
you
that's
know
not
that
funny.
he questions
The reason
that,
I don't carry one is
somebody
because
reassured him
I'm
that,
borderline, like very mildly autistic about like clothing on my person, like waistband
This is not a
lines and
good-
sock lines and just like things touching.
but someone assured him that,
So there's no
And that's
there's no
the
comfortable way that I
thing.
can carry something
And the
this
more
shape
that
and as
I
heavy
look,
as
and I'm a conspiracy theorist as well. Like, I love those. If you ever want to talk about that stuff, but basically, I don't think Marilyn Monroe, like, that was something
No.
that.
It's a really weird reason, right? But it's like, it's
my
true.
mind
Like, you have to have it in your pocket, which would never work for me. You have to have it strapped around your leg, absolutely not. Like,
Right.
it just wouldn't work.
if we had to give them the tournament, like most of us would, we don't want to be criminals. Now the criminals want to be. So, like, there's no logic there.
The problem is it has no stopping power. It's fine for target practice, but the actual reason you would carry a weapon on you like that for safety, it doesn't provide you that. It's okay for murdering someone, and you, like, if you literally walk up top of the head with
Like I
it.
said, I
But
can't
as far as like stopping power for somebody to have a rifle or something, it's not gonna stop them.
explain their logic and the rationale and how it's possible. I would love to hear someone explain. Like Mike Green almost was going to explain, I think, but there is no explanation on
A small 38 would do it, for sure.
And the more that, like,
That would be, to get a real 38 or something, illegal.
the hardest thing to fight is an idea. And when people are
Hello?
frankly, when they've been
Recording
like,
this?
just the more and more
I'm live
about
on
conflict
YouTube, yeah.
areas and how the
I
familiarity
sent
is
you a
so
message
much
in your
there
DMs,
that they don't
of
question.
your and his crew are combing through
Oh,
your
hang on a second.
trying to find dirt on Zionists, just so you know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Don't worry about it. They can't find any dirt on me. It's just dirt looking for themselves.
It's fear. People are getting fear.
And also, how do you say,
People
I mean,
live
also,
with
you
fear.
probably
They
Hispanic.
appreciate
It's also
fear.
because
It's
it's
almost
been very visual.
I mean, John he kind of explains to
Your
them.
videos. Also,
Everyone-
they canceling your accounts? I think that he and his group are like mass reporting you.
Yeah, they did. They canceled 4 of my Clubhouse accounts.
I just wanted to let you know, because I
That
didn't
wasn't
know
that
you
beautiful. Oh my
don't
gosh, everyone. do it
he was posting
every
some
morning,
of
afternoon,
your
and night.
recordings that he had combed through and like clipped up.
Okay, cool. Good for him. I mean, you know, I'm wasting his time, and that's exactly what I want to do. I appreciate it.
They'll go around saying fucking bullshit about people. Okay? And then that just becomes the truth. That's the sad part about the reality that we live in with SAP. Yeah. So yeah, I know that. You know that. We all know that.
Yeah,
Right?
trash bag had sex with a tranny.
No, trash bag, you tried to have sex with a tranny and they turned you down. That's what I heard.
Right. I think I can add. You didn't even fucking have the story. Anyway, prove me my point. Let's move along.
Exactly.
No.
Okay, real quick. That's the thing. The public opinion about them, right? Like my friend, everyone knows the story, right? He's very open about it. But everyone has this perceived notion about this person.
Yeah, but not everybody. I'm very open about it, but they don't all have the accurate version.
They don't have the accurate version. You're absolutely right. But my point is that so when you say something publicly on a public stage, not privately, right? So let's say you had an issue that I stalked something, and you came to me privately, much different. That didn't happen. So what actually happened is that he said this. Well, then on top of what happened 2 days ago, he says that in the morning. Well, then late at night, Pepe has a big room, right? And I know people's opinion about Pepe. Now, so Pepe was caught a doxer by JB. So then Pepe does a room. Well, I get DM from someone. They go, hey, Pepe has a room about how he got caught a doxer just like you. I was like, wow, that's so crazy. And
Well,
actually, before
Keegan, wait. To be honest with you,
Wait, you're listening to Keegan. It's Keegan's turn.
I made this room so I could get this off my chest, you, and not for you to come on my stage, for you to interject on my stories.
All right, continue. Don't get distracted.
You're right. I do get distracted. So
Pepe's room.
So Pepe was in that room. I come on stage because I know some information about JB that I learned that day. Because someone came to me and said, hey, just so you know, JB's calling you a doxer, but he's actually paid for someone's personal information to then put on Clubhouse. An actual doxer.
That's disgusting.
And it's Monica, and it's been proven.
Wow, that's horrible. What a horrible piece of garbage.
I've had multiple people come to me and tell me the story about how JB paid for Monica's information, and then guess what? Doxed that information that he paid for to a personal friend of hers. Very, very sad story, but also disgusting, deplorable person to do that. So I go to Pepe's room and I say, Pepe, can I come on stage? Pepe said, yes, sir. I come on stage and I had only 5 minutes because I do not go on Clubhouse during nighttime. But I said, I got the DM. You know what? This is happening to me. I said, Pepe, it's funny that he's calling you a doxer. He's doing the same thing to me with no information. And actually, I have information about how he's doxed Monica. And then, so that was said, and then I left because I didn't have time to stay. But I wanted to be said, especially in a room that had replays on, so that people could listen back and go, all right, now we know this about JB. Because guess what? It's credible. I have multiple people who's wanted to say this, and they're like, hey, I wanted to say it on stage. I don't know where they are right now, but multiple people can collaborate with me and say, yes, this happened. So that happened.
This would be a great time for you in the response.
So that happens, and then today, this morning, JB said, there's an individual in this room who just came on. I don't know why he's in my room, because he called me a doxer. He said, you can either leave or I'm going to kick you out, and I don't want you in my spaces anymore. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. I'm not here for yours. I'm not here for you. I'm here for your room, right? I'm not.
Right. It's just, you want to go with. Yeah, I feel you.
We're following moderators to rooms. No, we're following the room and what the room brings, not what you bring. Especially, like, this is not a house. But if it was a house, like the masculine mansion, guess what? We're not always coming for sake, right? We're coming for what the conversation may bring, right? When I go to Healthy Debates, I'm not going for JB. I'm going for what the conversation's going to be. So I'm shocked
that this individual is willing to be doxxed on a public stage, and then when I do the same thing, he says, now you're not welcome in my room. Well, are we going to, like, where's the accountability here? You should be held accountable.
Can I respond to that?
Now, Ewan, is a great time. Now the room's been reset.
Okay, so, Keegan, what I would first say is that most of the stuff that goes on this app ends up not being true. So, like, people will talk shit about you to the point where you end up very quickly becoming, like, the villain to, like, a room of people. Okay? That is just normal. That's just what you're going to deal with. That's the sad reality of Clubhouse. I don't agree with it. I actually like the truth. I value the truth over everything else. Okay? With that being said, what else is going on Clubhouse is that it is a dying app where there's not a lot of users.
No!
No, wait, hear me out. Let me finish my point. Because I've listened to you.
I'm just joking. Continue.
Yeah. So it went from being 150 million users to downwards of 10 million. And I would say that most of those active users are probably from India or like some place like that. So are people that are like looking at Clubhouse and saying, hey, there's not that much going on. So that's part of the reality. Now, I actually think that PP is kind of correct in his freak out because I agree with him to a certain extent, because what he's doing is he's not running rooms. What he's doing is going into other people's rooms and he's directly talking to them. Okay? And the other content, quote unquote, content creators that are on this app that are left, because most of them are left, are pretending that they're running big rooms when in fact they're not, because no one fucking cares. Okay? So, like, the reality of the situation is that this app is kind of not taking that seriously, and people are all causing shit to each other. And I think that you shouldn't worry too much about it. Like, I just got kicked out. Dude, I am friends with, like, the entire Jewish community on this app. And I just had, like, a Jewish person, like, kick me down to the audience because they were upset with me because they misunderstood what I said in another room, talking about the amount of child brides going on in the Middle East, right?
Well, person is a little heavy-handed with the gulag button, but he's still a good guy.
Yeah, no, of course, and it's fine, right? So I don't care that much. I don't even take it personally. I don't care. Keegan, you have to understand that you, with what you believe in, with, you know, however you want to approach the world and speak out about what your beliefs are going to be attacked by on this app heavy-handedly. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. That's just like the reality of it. But I mean, dude, I just literally spoke on behalf of like the victims of like underage sexual assault and got into a fight with someone. So like, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with it. People have weird fucking ideas here, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, you know, to a certain extent, that you know, at the end of the day, like when you say a view that people don't agree with, they're going to attack you and do all these things. But my point is that again, like with these rooms, that you're absolutely right. Like, who cares if your room has 50 people, because that's now a large room on Clubhouse. When you're right, like season 1, season 2 of Clubhouse, you know, a room with 50 people was a small room, right? A room, it used to be a room with 250 people, 300 people was like your average room size, and now it's much different. So I agree with you to a certain extent, but my point is that there's a lot of let me just say, individuals who will claim superiority over you because they're, not just the moderator. That's out of line, right? As a moderator, they say, listen, a lot of people say, hey, listen, there's rules to a room, and then they'll say all the rules. Well, then people break the rules, and guess what? Nothing happens, right? They say, well, that guy's different. We hold that guy differently, or even as a moderator, I'm going to break my own rules. So it's like these standards. It really just does not make sense to me. Like it's the double standard. It's the hypocrisy. It's like, again, I don't mind that you don't like my views, and I agree with you. Like, if people were just kicking me down and kicking me out of my views, I'd be like, I'd be annoyed. But I'd be like, all right, whatever. But people are kicking me down for things that they do, and then they're claiming, and they're creating.
No, but that's what they're kicking you out for, dude. That's like the actual abject reality. They're kicking you out for your views.
Well, yes, but they're using false information and defamation upon me on why they're kicking. Like they're saying, well, King's a doxer, he's not allowed in my room. Well, I'm not a doxer, so now people are going to go around going, oh, King's a doxer.
No, I mean, I heard that whole back and forth. It sounds like you were just like caught in the fucking crossfire of it. It to me, I don't care about that.
But sure, but even before the Pepe thing happened, I was being called a doxer, right? That's the point. Before the Pepe thing even happened, I was being called I was being called a doxer, which doesn't even make sense. I don't know enough of you guys to even be a doxer, or I don't even know most of you guys' information, like on just a Clubhouse personal level, to be like, I'm going to find out more about you, right? So that's what's shocking. And real quick, because I just read the chat, I haven't really read the chat that much. Mike says that is a lie. He didn't pay anyone for it. Sure. If he wants to claim that he didn't pay, again, I've had most people say he paid for it, but if he wants to make the claim that he didn't pay for it, he's still doxed her. That's the point, is that he's a doxer, and that he's calling me out for being a doxer. Well, if you are a doxer, why would you have a problem with a doxer?
But Keegan, don't even worry about the chat. I mean, dude, I literally just saw the chat, and I literally had someone say that Indians aren't real. Like, and that I said that, which is like completely made up. I mean, I literally lived in India, so I think that it's hilarious that that person's saying that.
Well, you might be a little bit different than me, but I do like to know that listen. I was kicked out of a room earlier today that they asked me, Keegan, do you think that you have good morals? And I said, I have moral consistency. Whether or not my morals are good in your standards is your standards, but my morals are consistent. So when I am someone who believes he has consistent character, and then that character is judged, all I am is a man and what my character is. That's all who I am. You are who your character is, in my opinion. And so when that character gets... and I think that maybe me and you are just a little different. You and I do care. And you say, well, don't, but I'm saying that's not who I am. I care about when people decide to lie. I care about consistency. I care about honesty. I care about, I care about hypocrisy. That's the things I'm going to call out. I don't call out anything else. People want to say the N-word. People want to say, that they hate white people. I don't care. I won't make any rooms about that. The only rooms I make is about this.
Okay, Ian, what I will say is that you are allowed to believe in what you believe in. Like, there's no one stopping you believing that. Most of the people that are responding to you are poor. You realize that, right? Like, you can tell.
I'm poor. What do you mean? What do you mean they're poor? Who cares about that? You and I'm poor, and not everyone's rich.
But they're poor as fuck, and they don't know how to respond to actual fucking ideologies or beliefs or anything like that. And if you're poor, then dude, get a fucking job. I mean, I think that's fair to say.
I have a job. No, I have a job. I'm saying that I'm poor in the ideas that I mean, my wife doesn't work, and we have a one income household. That's I'm doing my job. That's not, don't worry about my money. All right. But
Well,
saying that just because they're poor, their opinions don't matter is really interesting to me.
No, Keegan, the point that I'm making is that the people that, can talk about this stuff and be calm about it are living good lives, okay? We're looking at it and we're, coming into these conversations and we're looking at it and we're like, that's funny. Because it doesn't matter that much.
And I don't think that you've been attacked the way that I've been attacked on this app. You can say you have, but I don't think you have, because you're saying that, you wouldn't...
Oh, I've been attacked way harder than you are. Dude, I've been on this app longer than you have been.
I don't know. I've been on since season 1. Maybe we just haven't gotten to know each other that well, but I've been here for a long time. And most people in this room knows who I am. But,
I know. I've been in rooms with you, dude. Keegan, I know who you are. I've been on this app for so long that I fucking know who you are.
Well, I'm just saying again that I think this is just a difference in personality here.
Dude,
But
we used to run rooms together. You used to be in my rooms daily. Well,
listen, and I mean, welcome back. And this is what Clubhouse has turned into since you've been gone. But it's true, though. It's melodramatic and might not truly matter in the grand scheme of things. And when I get off the step, I don't think about it again. But when I'm on the step, I like to be perceived a certain way. And I'm not being perceived the way I believe I should be perceived. I believe that others should be perceived in a different way.
You got attacked, but you got attacked by someone. Look, I don't think that it was fair that you got called out on doxing someone. I don't agree with that. I saw the whole thing go down. I was in that room.
Everyone I interact with are a certain type of way, certain type of thinking. So I really enjoy being able to get out of that bubble and really see what people are actually talking about. I've tried Twitter Spaces. It's different. I don't like it. Clubhouse is where I've really grown to really enjoy. I use this as almost a podcast, way of and then also it's like a phone call.
I think you should be able to use this app as a way to project your beliefs and everything. I'm not against you doing that. I don't think that you should be silenced. You and I probably don't agree on a bunch of things, but what we would agree with is the fact that this app should be available to you to put out your own means, So you should be able to tell people how you're feeling, what you want to broadcast, okay? I think that what is going on is that people have told lies about you. I'll agree with that. I'm going to say that they were lying, and you got thrown under the bus. But do you know what the best thing to do is?
Go ahead.
Tell them to fuck off. Go into their rooms and fucking spam their rooms. Fucking start your own rooms like this, where they're literally if they come into this room, you get to have that debate, Literally, when I have people who disagree with me, I will either join a room or I'll go into another room or start my own room where those people are seeing the title and they don't agree with me. And they're angry at my title, so they want to come in and they want to make a point. I'm great with that.
Well, again, so my point is, and I agree that Clubhouse isn't denying me the access to say my opinion, right? My point is that the public square has become very, very small because this app has become very, very small. I don't even think when it comes to American European users, and I'll say, and I'm gonna have to clarify because I don't think many of us go into a lot of mainly black spaces. When it comes to the political, cultural, societal discussions, I would say that's less than probably. It's probably less than 10,000 users, guys, right? And consistently, it's probably less than...
I looked it up. No, there are 10 million active users on this app.
Well, sure, I'm not saying that they have 10 million active users. I'm saying when it comes to American cultural discussions or political discussions, it is less than 10,000 people. Why? Because I've been here for, just in the past year, it seems like every single room is easy. I barely meet new people. Barely. And every room is less than 100 people. So it's like, I can venture into different rooms and, it probably all adds up to that amount of people. So my point is that when the larger rooms, like Healthy Debates, or like, any of Roger Mayhem's rooms, or any JB rooms, or what have you, when they decide you're not a part of this room anymore, well, now I've been ostracized to the out. I'm an outcast. And even just to listen, not even to talk, right? Even to listen. I was in JB's room and he said, "Why would you want to be in my room now?" I can't listen. I can't enjoy a podcast. I can't enjoy the discussion that may be taking place. Not to listen to you, but listen to someone else. So that's my point. Is you're absolutely right. I could open my own rooms. But I don't have the time to always do that, right? I'm working right now. I'm working throughout the day. And so my point is that like these people who get to conduct and pretty much control what other people are going to listen to and consume will then create outcasts and say you're not a part of it, right? They've done it to Diogenes before. I know that you don't like Diogenes, but like they do it to Diogenes. They do it to they've done it to me. They've done it to a lot of people. I bet they've done it to you, Ewan, where it's just like for some reason. John Kitover is such a good example. And John, I used to have a lot of issues with John. And I've realized, you know what? Clubhouse records every room. John recording every room is it's the same thing. Who cares? I used to kick John out because I'm like, John records rooms. I'm not. But then I read terms and conditions. They're recording every single room. It doesn't even matter. So, but yeah. So I find it just again, we're allowing pretty much like dictatorship. And then these people will say the reason why you're not a part of our clique, the reason why you're not part of the public square is because of something that I also do. And I don't have proof that you do it, but really, and it's just like as you said, the real reason is because they don't like you. They don't like your views. It's not what actually is being said. It's something underneath. Go ahead, bro.
I was going to say this earlier, but I didn't think it was in the room, but it was hard to kind of fit a word in edgewise, as you know. But yes, so whenever that whole grad room was going on, and then the spillover into masculinity, JB was modded up in there, and he's very long-winded, and so it's kind of hard to predict when the end of his sentence is because it just keeps going on and on and on and on, like the Energizer Bunny. But he kept on saying, "Excuse me, I'm talking. Excuse me, can I talk?" And I told him, I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you can. Go ahead, I'll go on mute." I'll go on mute and I'll let him finish his statement. So now it's my turn to talk.
The way that you eat these things is you're supposed to cut the inside of their stomach open. Let me just show you. You can also eat their legs. It's a lot like lobster meat. You can't tell me that doesn't look good.
And that is the dictatorship.
Oh, now that he's legless, we're gonna cut him open. It's like a little science experiment. Alright, now that he's cut open the insides is what you're eating, so you see this yellow stuff? It's probably my favorite part.
Is that like looking at like TVs from
Very creamy. I'm actually so stoked because there's a lot of it.
like the big thing for me
The insides and like this stuff, you're gonna be eating this. Follow me if you want to see.
was that he was going after JB for like, I don't know, being a predator and like all that stuff. What they did, I go like, constantly. Wait. Let me like, dude, my first
This
year
little
on the
cutie
staff.
drinking water from its owner's hand is actually a baby lavender albino white-sided king snake, also called a Florida king snake. These snakes are mainly found in Florida, USA. They eat poisonous snakes for dinner and are immune to snake venom themselves. Grown-up king snakes usually get to be between 1.1 1 and 1.6 meters long. Normally, they have a brownish-black base color with white patterns. Thanks to people breeding them in captivity, they've become popular pet snakes now. Their chill personality and ability to adapt easily make them a big hit with reptile fans. Here's the cool part. Since regular king snakes naturally have the black, white, and red, breeders have managed to create all sorts of weird, wonderful color combos.
Real people who I've like gotten to actually know in person in real life, right? Like that's actually happened. And there's other people who are yeah, so
really good friends. I met him multiple times. That guy's fucking a real dude. I like David Bovedier. A lot of people don't like him on the app, but then they meet him in person, and then they go, "Oh wait, this guy's like the coolest fucking guy ever."
yeah, so my point is, but my point is, so those people, so the people that I actually really enjoy, like I don't enjoy JB, right? I never have enjoyed JB. But what I do enjoy are a lot of people who go to his rooms. And I enjoy the conversation that I have with those people. Now, those people aren't going to just come and venture into my room all the time. If I created a room, again, I can't do it every day. Sometimes, again, I treat this like a podcast. I just like to listen. And so, again, when you are decided that you are not passing these individuals, I just like, dude, I like, just because what? Because I decided to say that you're the dogs. Like, all I've done, it's not like I said something actually egregious and disgusting towards him and said something about his children or anything like that. All I said was, you actually doxed someone, which he doesn't even, it's not like he's saying I didn't do it. Even throughout our DMs that we have together today, he never decided to say he didn't do it. He just was like, you are, whatever, I'm not going to read it all. But yeah, so that's my point. I understand you and what you are saying, and I agree with it completely, that most of these people are losers. Most of these people are crazy individuals. Like, I remember when Europa was on this app, I think he's actually back on this app, was like Hermes. That's, just so everyone knows, and it's not dogs, because most people know this about Europa. That man is an actual sex offender, a pedophile who has touched children. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. And you can go, do you even care? I do. If I found out that any single one of you have actually done something horrendous like that, where you've either harmed children or killed someone, you're not welcome. You're not welcome in my spaces. I think we should have some consistency and say that you're not allowed around us. And so that's my piece. Mohammed, welcome to the stage. What do you have to say about accountability on Clubhouse? Go ahead.
So I just joined, I have no idea about what you're talking about, so I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Keegan.
Okay. All good.
Wait, can I go for a little
Ewan, hold on 1 second.
John, I know that John's been trying to get in, and then you of course, you go. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you hold an accountability room, because really this is another stirring the pot room. That's what this app is actually good at, is creating these dramas that feel like they're real, but it's just people all around the country just yelling into their phone at people because they've been conditioned and listened to what these people say, and they essentially respond either politically or they may respond truthfully. Sometimes they respond insincerely. But anyways, you can see the gentleman in my PTR. That's Brad. Many of you know him as Brad S. He makes death threats on this app, which is against the law, and I'll post the law in the chat that he's actually violating, and the terms of service that he's violating here on this app. But yet he has thousands of followers, and Clubhouse seems to have no problem with somebody who goes around making death threats quite regularly, that I have on video and audio recordings, which I have submitted to the Houston Police Department, the Houston FBI, and his employer and management team at the Houston Children's Texas Hospital. So this is what accountability on Clubhouse looks like. When you slander, defame, and libel John Kitover and the campaign to elect candidate Congressman Kitover, when we have contributors to the campaign like Mike Moon here right now, when you do that against John, an Army Service Connect disabled veteran and Citadel graduate, you've picked a fight with the wrong motherfucker in Chicago, and I can promise you the campaign will do everything we can do to sue you and wage garnish Brad S. So I hope he works hard because his wage garnishment and lawsuit is going to help fund this campaign and take us to Congress. This is John. I am complete.
Wow, talk about accountability to be had on an individual who deserves some accountability. Now, again, do I agree with doxing? No. John, I would say you should change your PTR. I do not believe in doxing.
Oh, it's past
but
that. We've actually sent the documents, the videos, to a law firm today who will actually be filing a civil lawsuit against Brad Ass. So we're there.
Wow.
I know.
Are you willing to say the firm or no?
No, I don't want to mention the name of the law firm here on Club. I don't want to I don't want to dox the lawyers.
Of course. Good on you, John, for someone who's willing to find legal ramifications. For someone who has done some egregious things on this app,
It doesn't.
I mean, I think
If somebody doxes you on X or YouTube or Instagram or Clubhouse or TikTok I'm talking about slander, libel, defamation. It doesn't matter where you do it. It's against the law. And when you make death threats on the internet, it's 100% well established that it's against the law. I will put it in the chat. Brad S. I don't know if he has a TBI from the war or what the fuck is wrong with him. He knows everything there is to know, just FYI, everybody. But the point is, you can't come on Clubhouse and make death threats against people. And you can't libel or slander people. It's against the law, Brad S.
Well, thank you, John, for, I guess, taking the time to do it. I mean, I know that at times it can almost feel like you're doing a turkey chase, right? You know, you may never catch a turkey, but you're going to try to do it. So, you would go ahead. I know that you wanted to speak a little bit longer.
Honestly, I lost my entire train of mind just listening to fucking John.
Well, it's okay. I mean, listen, John does make a true point, which is that whether I'm doing this in a truthful way, which I believe I am, and I believe I'm doing this in a sincere way, because I actually feel an emotional connection to this. This is a pure emotion here that you guys are listening to. This is potentially a triggering room, of course. I knew what was going to go on if I did a room like this, but I thought it was needed to be done. Now, do I think that it's going to trigger a lot of individuals? I hope not. I hope that there's not a lot of rooms afterwards. It's not my goal here. Again, my goal is not for clout. My goal is for consistency.
Because that if you have to do certain things to yourself, because that things are not going to so I have to tell yourself, things are going to make it be what you want it to be. But you have to also make sure that you should not be in any way of you have to be cautious of what people do.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's one of the 10 million users that you were talking about that venture.
I suddenly have a craving for curry.
Oh man, that was good. That's a good. John, was that one of your accounts that came in the
No, that wasn't me.
That wasn't. Well, I don't know. You weren't speaking, so I guess I'll take your word for it. But
no, but we do have an anonymous account, and I also reached out to Roger Mayhem today. I emailed him because at 1:00, the campaign to elect candidate Kitover, we have job applicants from Craigslist who are petition circulators that want to come on Clubhouse. They're going to receive their training through Clubhouse, and they're going to print they're going to print the PDFs for the petitions and start gathering signatures. Clubhouse, thanks to Mike Moon and Jay Breska is our biggest contributor. We will be getting signatures and funding it all through Clubhouse. So I want to thank everybody here on Clubhouse who is helping us get signatures.
go ahead, BB.
Okay, so I love Edmund. We all known Edmund for a very long time, a very, very, very long time. But Edmund, I'm sorry, it doesn't mean you can go around and okay, one thing is you can go into rooms and we know you're there and you can record our conversations and you can put them somewhere, but at least because we know you're there and the possibility is available to us, you can then go and record conversations and put them online. But you can't go into rooms with as anonymous, and sometimes people have heart-to-hearts and they have intimate conversations.
Yeah, I know. Some people come on here and they plant terrorist Some people come on here and discuss terrorism because they're promoting it,
Yes,
supporting
but,
it.
Yes, but most people, a lot of people don't. Okay, so if I'm in a room having a conversation with Beamer or with Seamus and we talking about,
I haven't listened to your voice in quite a long time. So what are you concerned about? You think I'm every anonymous on this fucking app, lady? There's thousands of people with anonymous.
Supporter of Edmund forever on this app because actually,
BB, there's a lot of people with anonymous. I'm not a catch-all. I'm not a fucking evergreen meme that I'm the, one recording and listening to everything.
As an anonymous and record conversations?
What? Yes, of course. What do you think anon is for? Go read the terms of service.
No, but that's not fair.
But here's the thing, BB. BB, have you read the terms? BB, have you read the terms and conditions of Clubhouse? They own all the recordings.
I just feel so that isn't that like colonizing, or isn't that like a hostile takeover, or
It's not 1665. I'm on my fucking cell phone in my office, lady. You can use your cell phones how you want to use your cell phones. I'll use my cell phones in my office, in my house, how I want to use my cell phones, okay? Stop telling me how to use my fucking cell phone, BB.
I'm just saying, it's just not very neighborly.
I feel obligated to say the obvious, which is don't have intimate conversations on fucking Clubhouse. That is the most retarded thing ever. You want to be protected. You want to be protected from intimate conversations on Clubhouse. Holy shit!
But also, baby, why don't you just do a private room and invite the people you want to hear?
You come in, you don't even think about it, and then it's like,
But again, that's on you then. That's not on anyone else but you.
I don't say anything. I don't care. And also, I'm saying this for it's not John, it's Edmund. Because also, Edmund, one day you're gonna fucking it's like somebody's gonna slap some kind of a lawsuit on you. And nobody wants to see that, because I think most people on this app, especially like us old timers. No, Mike, I don't give a fuck about you, by the way. You can fuck off. I don't give a fuck. But with Edmund, it's like, something bad is gonna happen, and I don't want that for you.
Oh, believe me, I live stream everything I do, and I record everything I listen to as a backup, just in case something stupid or bad does happen. So, BB, I hate to tell you this, but I'm documenting reality. You're complaining about reality. That's called a you problem, BB. That's called a you problem.
I am saying this.
Hey, John, are you recording now?
You are poking.
Yeah, of course. I'm live on YouTube.
Oh, man, because I was going to say that BB's making my balls itch, but that's too intimate for recording.
Nobody likes you. You're fucking ugly, and your PTR is unattractive. At least like Edmund has.
Oh, my PTR is unattractive. Do you want to see what I really look like, BB? Because I'm actually pretty good looking. I'm 6'3". I'm a good looking guy. Former U.S. Marine. I'm pretty good looking. I'm pretty good looking. PTR is not me, retard.
You're annoying.
That PTR is not me, retard, but it is my real name.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Edmund, at least.
Oh man, I do it for you, baby. Baby, but I do it all for you. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Oh shit.
Yeah, baby, what? And someone is stating in the comment, which he stated correctly, Howard. If you, she left. Oh, she's just listening. If you have a problem, BB, okay, you have the right to go seek legal action, just like John Kitover has sought legal action against Brad. So you have the same right.
And every time Brad's mentioned, I feel obligated to say that I personally sat in a room with about 30 people. When he told the man that he knows where he lives, he's going to drive to his house, he's going to rape his wife. I just feel obligated to say that man said that. He didn't threaten his life. John's heard him threaten life. So either way, that is one despicable human being.
Well, and then John, I hope I'm not involved in your lawsuit, because he has threatened my life. But I do hope I'm not involved.
Well, you might get subpoenaed. I gotta tell you, you're probably gonna get subpoenaed because you're in the recordings too.
Yeah. And if I get subpoenaed, and if I do get subpoenaed, what I hope for, John, is maybe just a little action to come my way afterwards. That's all I hope, John. I will be honest. I'll tell him what I heard, what I was what was told to me, but I just hope that a little action comes my way because I am a poor white American.
John, can I ask you a question?
Of course. Please address me as candidate.
I was going to ask Keegan a question.
David, please hold.
Well,
Joe, let the lady speak, David. Joe B, go ahead. Ask candidate Congressman Kitover whatever question you might have.
Kangaroo man. I'm Congressman. I'm sorry. Respectfully. What's the beef with Brad? I mean,
Links are in the chat, Joe B. Take a look. It's all on X. I've notified the Texas Children's Hospital in Houston. I've notified the FBI. I've notified the police. I've notified my law firm in Houston that are filing a civil defamation lawsuit against Brad Stauffenberger in Houston and Minneapolis.
For what?
You'll have to listen to the videos. You'll have to watch the
never
videos.
mind.
They're hours long. Brad goes on for quite a long time, JB. And I've got a lot of videos. And they're all going to be released publicly. And the FBI's been notified. The police has been notified. His employer's been notified. It's all out there. You can't come on Clubhouse. You can't make death threats. And you can't defame, libel, or slander people. It's against the law. And I'm going to hold this Irish potato-eating motherfucker. He's guilty. I'm filing a lawsuit. That's it.
Shut up. That might boomerang on you, bud.
Are you okay with them making death threats to people, Joe B? Is that acceptable to you?
No, but John's not much better. Nobody, I mean,
there's death threats and there's not death threats.
Are you going to let me finish, or are you going to just keep interrupting?
So John's no better than Brad, really?
John, I don't know.
I haven't heard John say he's going to rape anyone's wife. I haven't heard him make death threats to people. Never once.
Joe B.
By the way, when people do that, JB, it shows that they're pretty horrible fucking people.
Hey, I'm Joe B. Please don't confuse me with JB.
Joe B.
It means they're pretty fucking horrible people when they say things like they're going to rape people's wives and murder people.
Joe B.
Do you believe that on the app?
Usually it means they have a small penis, too, and that they're trying to be a man, but that's another thing.
I know.
Well, he was in the Navy, Mike. You know, look at the guy in my PTR. That's Brad in Houston, Texas.
No, look how fucking dopey. That's an ugly dude. Look at his dopey fucking eyes. He looks like he's stoned. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Mike, I just looked at your PTR. Don't go there.
This isn't me.
I know, but it's...
I'm a good-looking person, Joe. You want me to put a picture up for you? I'll put it. Hang on a second. I'm good-looking. That's right. I'm also 6'3", by the way. I got a lot of tail when I was younger.
We're all good-looking and shapely.
Well, no, Brad's not good-looking. Brad looks like a big fucking dope who's stoned. You see his picture?
Yeah, my brother went to... never mind. There's a military connection.
What relevance does it have them looking like?
Wait, I hate to interrupt. I just got an email back from the law firm that is suing Brad Stauffenberger for libel and civil damages. And it turns out that he makes $120,000 a year, so at a 15% wage garnishment, we estimate it'll take him 7 years to pay back the campaign to elect John Kitover.
I was surprised he's in Houston. I thought he was up north in Minnesota or some shit. Was he just lying?
Gather a whole bunch of signatures from everyone on Clubhouse going against you, that you've been going against their privacy, whatever, like recording people, and nobody ever agreed to it. What will you do? It'll be you against Brad. Who's going to win that lawsuit?
Let's start it up, DB. I mean, not against John necessarily, but it sets a precedent.
Well, you're not so smart, John.
Joe B, can I ask you a question?
There's a lot of
hey, real quick, Joe B, can I ask you
in those hooker stockings on your PTR?
Joe B, can I ask you a question?
But I do have some other pictures if you want to see how hot I am.
Because you are...
I'm curious, trust me. I totally believe it.
Whoa.
No, but
Joe B,
Edmund...
hey, calm down. What are you doing? Stop. What are you doing? You're coming on my stage and you won't shut up. Like, 2 seconds, bro. So, Joe B, you're friends with Brad S. Joe B, what do you think of Brad, not once, but now twice, claiming stolen valor onto actual men who served in our military? What do you think about that?
I think this is a public open app, and anything goes until someone gets sued. And if you want to be the first president, go for it. But I agree with BB. If you don't like something, get a petition going that will get legislators involved. Period.
But Joby, you didn't answer my question. Do you think that that's a good man who claims stolen valor on two different individuals, and then those claims are proven to be untrue?
I have not seen the proof. I have seen opposite of proof against it. I've seen proof that he is telling the truth through my brother, who is Scooby-Doo on this app, who worked with him.
I didn't say he didn't serve in the gay Navy. I just said that he was accusing other people of stolen valor.
We're not saying that he didn't serve, Joby. We're saying that he's claimed that John Kitover did not serve, and that he also claimed that Diogenes did not serve.
Hey, Keegan, I could claim that, but on an open app like this, not going to win in court. Just not gonna.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, do you think that that's a good man who would claim stolen valor?
I am not his judge, nor are you, Keegan.
You are a judge, though, of human integrity, are you not?
You can feel okay to judge a man that says he's going to rape people's wives and murder people. It's okay to judge, Joby, and you don't need a committee for that, Joby.
I don't have to like him. I do like him because I know him through my brother.
Okay.
Okay, but Joby, you're not Joby. BB, you know what, BB? This is what I'm gonna do with you. Okay? I don't really know you that well, and you're God. Okay? You're making this room about you and John Kitover's fight. That's not what the room is. You want to take accountability. She's gone. People who aren't taking accountability are going to be gone. They're going to be shoved away. We're done with these people.
Keegan, let's point out that Howard down there with his fake-ass PTR, whatever the hell he looks like, he put in the chat that if somebody has a problem with John Kitover legally, they have the right to sue him. That's me.
Yes.
So what I'm telling you is when I have a problem with you and I feel you've infringed upon my rights and you've broken the law, I have the right to redress that and sue you. So it goes both ways. And if anybody here wants to sue me for recording them talking their stupid shit on Clown House and putting it on YouTube, feel free to send the lawsuit and I'll countersue you. So have fun with all your lawsuits, everybody.
But it's so, and I appreciate John, and yes, absolutely. If you have a problem, but Joby says I cannot. That's not my place. But my point is, it's really interesting when you ask these people who are good friends with these individuals, and you say, hey, listen, this individual has done this thing over and over again, right? And they say, well, that's not my place to judge. Well, do you know? So do you go through your whole life, and it doesn't matter what people do? And you just go, no, it's not my place to... Like, no, we are a judge of integrity and a judge of character every single day. That's how we conduct ourselves. So why are we conducting ourselves completely differently on a Clubhouse app? If someone in my personal life went to two different military men and said, you're committing stolen valor, and that was proven wrong, I would say that man is deplorable. That man is a liar. That man is deceitful. And I would not trust that man. And then on top of that, if that man said that he was going to go to someone's wife, or go to someone's house and rape their wife, or go to my house and kill me and have sex with my wife, I would claim that man's crazy and deranged and a psychopath. I wouldn't need to think that, or if that claim was made to someone else, I wouldn't need for someone else to tell me whether that man is good or not. I would say that man is bad. And the idea that we can't have a judgment based off of, again, integrity and in character, then what do you do every day? You're a blob of skin and bones and blood. That's what you are. You don't exist.
Or have sex with your daughter, which is what they do.
She did say that. He also did say, he has said so many things, not just to me, to John Kitover, to Mike Moon, to every single public person on this app, that he doesn't know what he says. So John Kitover saying that he's willing to sue him. He's willing to use legal ramifications. You might be held accountable. You might be held accountable a little bit. You might just a little bit.
This is not a roast room of Brad Stauffenberger in Houston and Minneapolis, who works at Texas Children's Hospital as a claims manager. It's not a roast room. This is a legal notification room, Keegan.
John, I made it very clear that I do not want doxing. I've asked you to take his PTR off. Do not say his full name. I do not believe in doxing. I do not dox individuals. I do not believe in
Oh,
doxing.
I'm not doxing him. I'm publicly putting him on legal notice. He has received public legal notification now, Keegan. This is how he's been served. So I want to thank you in helping me achieve accountability here on Clubhouse. This is candidate Congressman John Kitover for the 16th District in Illinois, running against the rhinoceros vaccinologist and $20 trillion super debt creator, Darren the Hood Rat LaHood. Gonna clip that one.
Hey, isn't Mark Rice running?
Hey, go get your denture paste and make sure to put them back in, because I couldn't hear what you said.
Hey, fuck you, asshole, but isn't the Hood or Mark Rice running and kiss my ass?
I don't know. Why don't you Google that? Let me Google that for you. Joe B, take your education policies. I looked you up on your website. You told me to look you up. You're not on that website. There's a bunch of other executives. You don't exist on that website, Joe B. Congratulations.
Hey, poopy head, I work for Robert Inlaw. I have a contract. Not showing you my contract, dummy.
Okay, stupid dummy. You dumbass. Stupid ass. Go ahead, Joe B. Do whatever you want, stupid ass.
You big pussy.
You big boy.
That's what I want to hear on this app is that. All right, that's all we need to hear. All right, but when individuals listen, I'm gonna kind of reset the room here because the man who has kind of created this, not really create this because this was gonna happen anyways if he never did anything about this. All right, here's a little reset for everyone who was not here. Last week I was called a doxer. Don't know why, but randomly JB said, "Here comes Keegan. He's a young guy. He's a troll, but hey, listen, he's got a good head on his shoulders. Well, he's a troll and he's a doxer. He needs to fix that about himself. But other than that, he's a good guy." Right? I have a random stranger telling me I'm a good guy, but I got some stuff to fix. I'm a doxer and I'm a troll. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna let that slide down my back. I don't care. Then he makes a claim 2 days ago. Again, the same claim. Here comes Keegan. He's young. He's a troll. He's a doxer, but he's a good guy. I thought, I'm not a doxer. What is he talking about? So then I decided to say, hey, I'm not a doxer. What are you talking about? And he moved on. He never said a word about it. He actually muted up, didn't say a word to that. Someone interjected, and then the conversation continued on. So then I was like, man, that's really interesting. Why is he saying that about me in a public room in front of a lot of people? Well, then someone reached out to me individually and said, hey, listen, it's funny he's calling you a doxer when he's doxed Monica. When he got Monica's information and doxed her. Now, I was told he paid for it. Supposedly, he didn't pay for it. Which I guess it doesn't matter if he paid or not paid. He still doxed an individual. He still reached out to someone to find out personal information about that person and then doxed her. I don't like that idea. I don't like that one bit. So then I heard that Pepe, I got a DM saying, hey, Pepe's in the room. JB called him a doxer. And JB's going around saying a lot of things about him. And I thought, that's so interesting. He's going after Pepe, and he's going after me. That's so interesting because I'm going to be honest.
This is stirring the pot.
We're hated on this app kind of for some of the same reasons. I don't think I'm as aggressive as Pepe, but we're both called racist. We're both called all sorts of things. And so people will attack us and say a lot of things about us just because of the views that we hold. So, or that we're a troll on this app. So then, I go, Pepe's room, I decide I'm going to share this information. Hey, it's funny that he's calling you a doxer because he's doxed Monica himself. Now, I said some stuff that I've been told by the person themselves, and it's whatever, and I'm not going to share it again, but that he paid for it, but maybe he didn't. It doesn't matter. He still doxed an individual. It doesn't matter how he got the information. He doxed that information. So he's a doxer. It's funny that he's calling you a doxer. He's a doxer. So then I left the room because I didn't have time to be in a room at night. And the next day, or 2 days later, this morning, I go on the stage and I go in his room and he goes, there's a guy in this room who has called me a doxer. I don't know why you would want to be in my room. I don't know why you would want to listen to this conversation if I'm such a horrible person. He said, so either get out or I'm going to kick you out. And he said, let's do this privately. So then I privately messaged him and said, hey, and I was honest. I said, hey, you called me a doxer, which you have no proof of. You said it in a public room and allowed, and it was slander. Allowed other people's opinions to be set upon me that is not true. Well, you yourself are a doxer. And his response was that you are playing victim. You wanted to be famous. You wanted to get some clout off of Pepe, and that's why you went in the room and said what you said. And you attacked me. Which is so funny because, again, he attacked me first. He called me a doxer first. So accountability on Clubhouse is really interesting to me because accountability should be if you do something wrong, people say, hey, you've done something wrong. But instead, what happens is if you're a big creator and you're liked on this app and you don't really hold really strong views about anything, right? You're just a blob of a person. Well, guess what? You don't get any hate. You get no smoke. You can say whatever you want about people. No one's going to say a word. Or they might just like you because you're kind of an attack dog, like Brad. And they just like that you attack everyone else and you just hope that one day that dog doesn't bite you. So you go, hey, that dog's a good dog because he attacks everyone else. He's a pit bull. But then when he attacks you, you're like, we got to put this dog down. So that's what's really going on, is that these large creators on this app, who are creators, quote unquote, there's no actual creators, who hold large rooms and are moderators, who can control the public square and the public opinion can be swayed upon you, are truly the most double standard, hypocritical, and again, non-responsible, accountable individuals on this app, and I'm very, very done with it. And I'm a 26-year-old. I shouldn't be the one who has to say this.
I don't think it's any kind of a come to Jesus moment or revelation or catharsis. Coming on this app and regularly making death threats to people and how you're going to brutally murder them is against the fucking law, and you can and will be arrested for it. Any kind of a come to Jesus.
Yeah, it is that simple. It is that simple with one individual that we are speaking about. But again, these individuals have been on this app since season 1 of Clubhouse. And when they first were on, they weren't that big. But as they continue to gain followers, they continue to do rooms by themselves, they got larger and larger. And it almost seems like they thought their popularity would never end. There was no accountability for what they've said to individuals. And again, all I want, just some apologies and saying I'm not going to do that again. I'm not asking for money. All right, John Kitover, I'm not looking for legal ramifications to be set upon this person. All I'm asking for is, hey, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. Let me do a public room and announce that I said something false about you because I did it in a public room. That's what I want. Very simple.
Hey, John, check your message from me in the back channel.
Well, and it's like when CNN does a article on someone, right? And they're completely wrong, and they're proven wrong, and then they have to resubmit an article. And guess what they do? The first article is a massive tweet. They do a bunch of coverage on it, and they get a bunch of people to listen to it. And then when they say, "Hey, we've lied," guess what they do? They do it privately. They release one small little article on their website. Nothing is done. So it's really interesting that when people say, well, what are you trying to gain from this, Keegan? What are you going to get from this? I said, I just want a public apology because they publicly denounced my name.
Wait, Keegan, I just want to let everybody know that I hope you don't think you're being manipulated in the audience or anybody else here on the stage emotionally. Because I want to let you know, this has nothing to do with emotions or feelings. This has everything to do with the letter of the law. When you come on a social audio chat app and you make regular death threats to murder, slaughter, and kill people in detail for hours, and people record you doing it, it is against the law. The FBI and the local police in Houston and in Minneapolis will arrest you for making death threats and going into detail about how you will murder people. You cannot do that. And I got to tell you, the person in my PTR who works at Houston's Texas Children's Hospital, who's about to get served with a libel and slander lawsuit.
John, this is my last warning on you. Okay, I can't make you change your PTR, but I can try to moderate you a little bit. You cannot say his full name and where he works. I know it's public information now, But that individual did not share that on this app, and I don't know, if I'm with it. So.
I'm just trying to clarify the letter of the law here for people in the audience and all the Anon accounts who might be wondering what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about and when and where and why and how. It's all here on Clubhouse, ladies and gentlemen. It's all recorded. It's all put on 13 YouTubes, 2 Clubhouses, 5 X accounts, 3 Instagrams. It's all on the internet for all of you to go find and see. And the FBI and the Houston Police Department have the exact clips that they need. So fuck around, find out. Stop making death threats on this app and stop libeling and slandering the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. Go to johnforcongress.com.
I would like to say, John Kitover, if your lawsuit, after you won your lawsuit, I would probably like the name of that firm, because it seems like maybe I'm due for some money.
The number one rule of lawfare is never dox your lawyers. Never waste their time when they're busy trying to do a service process on the gentleman in my PTR and deliver him the lawsuit.
That's a real thing. Like we're joking about it, but man, free speech extends all the way to one point. So when you start telling people you're going to drive to their house and kill them, that's a real fucking problem. That ain't normal, man. I don't give a shit if you're on social media or not. That is not normal.
So I hate to break the bad news to you, Joe B. You can come up here and criticize me all you want, and everybody in the audience who's probably enjoying this pot stirring or this roasting, don't enjoy it. Just know that when you come on Clubhouse, the fact that you are making death threats, but your account is still up with thousands of followers, do people not report him? Does it take one fucking asshole to report an account? And some fucking Filipino in Manila says, yeah, I agree, delete account. And then you get the suspension notification from Clown House. If you want to appeal, email this address.
John, what's your question?
Okay, well, let's get back to politics, ladies and gentlemen, because in 13 minutes, we have a conference call with a new employee for the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. He lives in Rockford. He's got the petition PDF. He's ready to print it. He's ready to get to work. He texted us this morning. He wants to work now. So we are going to bring him onto Clown House. I'm going to send him the link to Accountability on Clown House. I'm hoping you can mod me and we can change the room title to Campaign to Elect Candidate Congressman John Kitover. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a joke. This account at the bank with $610 of your Clubhouse clown dollars is in the bank. We're going to spend it, and you're going to watch me do it live on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't win the campaign, at least we got a YouTube business, ladies and gents. This is called killing 2 birds with 1 stone. This is how a Republican capitalist does business, ladies. This is how you use the law to get to positions of power. You don't let people get away with breaking the law all day long on Clubhouse and make death threats against people. No, you report them to the authorities, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover believes in.
All right, let's. I'm gonna look up. We're using ChatGPT, John Kitover, and we're looking up. Can you make threats? We're gonna look this up. Let's see what ChatGPT says.
Joe B's not impressed with your measly sum of $610, John. She's a big spender. She thinks it's not very much money.
Mike, I want to thank you for your hard-earned dollars. I know how hard you work for that money, and I'm not going to waste a penny of it. And when I do spend the money you gave me, I'm going to show you on video how I spent that money.
I tried to give you a clap, but I've maxed out my...
It shouldn't take videos.
Okay, here it is. Here it is, John. John's absolutely right. I don't know why Joe B's in the chat saying that they can't do this. Criminally, number one, if you threaten to kill or seriously injure someone online, it can be prosecuted as a crime. In U.S. laws, they do vary by state, but nearly all 50 states say that making threats of death and seriously bodily harm is a felony if the victim reasonably believes the threat could be carried out. Even if you didn't mean it, intent isn't always required. Just the act of making the threat and causing fear can be enough. Now,
And in this day and age, who the hell knows what's real or not? If someone says that, there's people all day long that just shoot up a fucking place, and everybody's like, "Well, I didn't see it coming," like a bunch of fucking retards. Like, if somebody goes out and says that shit, you gotta take it serious in 2025, man.
So
in a civil, real quick, Lucifer, I gotta finish reading this. So, for a civil case, the victim could sue you for intentional infliction of emotional distress or harassment, especially if they can show the threats cause them fear, anxiety, or damages like therapy costs, loss of work, or moving expenses. In some cases, victims also seek restraining orders or protective orders, which can carry legal penalties if violated. So, John Kitover has a pretty strong case.
That sounds like a slave owner filing for a grievance.
Wait, Keegan, I got it. Lucifer, please, Lucifer, please, Lucifer, please don't interject into this conversation yet. Lucifer, please stop, Lucifer. I can't put Lucifer on this recording, Lucifer. I don't want you in the legal documents. You don't want to be involved in this lawsuit, Lucifer. Listen, Lucifer, hold on. Hold on. I'm quoting Pepe here. Hold on. Okay, that quote's for Pepe. Hold on. Okay, so we just got an email from the lawsuit suing Brad. Brad S. I won't mention his last name because we don't want to dox the man in my PTR. This is what they just wrote us. You're not going to believe this. It is illegal to come on Clown House and make death threats, as you've just heard from Keegan. Sorry, I'm not at the letter yet. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen,
You had me on pins and needles, man.
Listen, there's a lot of people in this room. Look how many Anons. This is the biggest Anon audience we've ever had. We got 5 here. Okay, so in 8.
Also, John, I'm so sorry. I do not want to interrupt you. I actually thought that you were Baby Pepe, but you're saying you were not Baby Pepe?
No, listen, I'm totally transparent. You guys can go to my YouTube Live anytime you want and watch what I'm doing here on this app. And the fact of the matter is, this is my only Clubhouse profile right now.
I do enjoy Baby Pepe. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, so go ahead. Well, actually, I don't want to give the floor just yet to you. But ladies and gentlemen, you cannot come on Clubhouse and make death threats. You cannot come on Clubhouse and make libel slander when people record you doing it. It's so stupid to do that only the man in my PTR is stupid enough to do it. So I don't know who this stupid person is, but take a good look at a stupid person. If I were to create a Clubhouse dictionary under the letter S, this stupid person would be pictured right there in my PTR. His name is Brad S. We won't mention his last name. But the FBI and the Houston Police Department have been notified and have received audio recordings of Brad S. making death threats. Now, whether or not the government is going to take action and bring accountability, well, I hope at least the management team at Texas Children's Hospital enjoys the videos and recordings as well. They have been notified on X across multiple accounts tagged at the Texas Children's Hospital PR, the public relations. They know who he is. He's their claims manager. He works with insurance companies and sick children. But is this the nice, kind, gentle man at the hospital that might greet a family in mourning who can't pay their health insurance bill? Or is this a man who comes on Clubhouse, knows the answer to every single thing there is, but still makes crazy death threats to women regularly while he's being recorded and he knows he's being recorded? So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who this stupid person is, but if there was a Clubhouse dictionary with the letter S, this is where this stupid person would be.
Well, you don't think it's for the person that's filing the claim that's showing their fragile ego. You don't think that it exposes a fragile ego?
John, are we going to hear the email?
Who cares about a fragile ego? There's people that make millions of dollars off other people's fragile egos in the legal.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Every fucking day. He's running for Congress, man. He needs money, Lucifer. Fragile egos aside, he's going to make bank here if he wins.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I feel you.
Okay, we have 6 minutes to the next employee onboarding for the campaign to elect John Kitover. This is an on-the-ground petition circulator. I'm going to introduce him to you all. His name is Joe. I have not spoken to him on the phone yet, but he has agreed to download the Clown House app, and he's going to come to this room. So if you can mod me, that would be fantastic. If you listen, but we can use you. Hold on. Keegan, you can still. You don't have to mod me, but I do want you to change.
You can trust Congressman.
Keegan. Gentlemen.
Christopher says it, you're good.
We've got 5. Okay, I know we're good. We've got 5 minutes though. I want to, gentlemen.
On the left shoulder currently.
Gentlemen, I want to curate the experience for the onboarding of this employee. So if we could change the title, and I'm going to change my PTR. Okay, here we go. I'm going to change the room title. I'm going to change my PTR. This is
content, Keegan. Good decision making, buddy.
This is a room reset.
I think we've done enough of the accountability on Clubhouse.
By the way, that's a beautiful picture, Keegan, of you and your dog.
There's one more final thing I want to say about a Brad S. This Irish.
We should all put pictures of us, our dogs, off the hang out.
In my opinion, John, I know that you want to do the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover, but in my opinion, it should be elect candidate Congressman John Kitover 2026.
Okay, go ahead and just update the room title to however you deem fit.
No. This is not your room, John.
Well, see, the thing is, you, as a green bean, that means you essentially have the supermod privilege. It doesn't really matter to me. What I want to try to do here is make this a welcoming and comfortable experience as a new onboarding experience for this, for Joe. So the whole point is to depolarize from the gossip and the drama swirling that happens on this app. And then I just want to say one more thing about Brad S. and this controversy that you've been listening to. Look in my PTR. I just updated it. That is a private video which has been recorded with a major broadcast network. And they went bananas because we did it live and they didn't know I was recording myself do the interview. So yesterday they demanded that I make the video private or delete it. So I made it private. But in the chat, you can watch a video which has been put to private on legal demand and notice from a major broadcasting network. Then the final thing is in my PTR, you can see my Army active duty badge as a second lieutenant with a top secret SCI security clearance, and that badge I still have it. Anyways, the whole point is.
A picture of you, John? You're a good-looking guy, man.
Yeah, that's when I was a second lieutenant at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, on the Mexican border. I want to tell you a border crossing story. So one day, I see these 2 Hispanic gentlemen with straw in their hair, dusty as could be. They looked like Marty McFly, with their life preserver jackets on. And I was like, ¿qué pasa? And they're like, necesito agua. They were like dying in the desert in these mountains that I was hiking in on Fort Huachuca, Arizona. So I walked them back to our hotel and I give them some bottles of water and some pretzels. And sure enough, they were illegal border crossers who happened to walk onto a U.S. Army top secret military facility through a mountain range. And, so I don't know what happened to those Hispanics. I didn't want to ruin their life because to me, they weren't carrying drugs. They nearly died. I was like, I don't want to ruin their day, man. I'm not calling the cops on these guys. That would be some bad karma. So I hate to admit as a candidate congressman that I may have released 2 illegal alien Mexicans who nearly died in the mountains into Arizona. I just wanted to admit that to everybody.
What a story.
I like it too. Hey, Keegan, we share Golden Doodle, man.
Mine's a Labradoodle.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
He took the 2 back to his hotel and gave him pretzels and water.
Flex
John Kitover. Vote for John. He's a cheap ass congressman.
Okay.
Pretzels and water.
Would you call that a sanctuary apartment, John?
These guys were so close to death. And you know how stupid I was? I thought maybe they were from Spain and not Mexico, and they were soldiers that we were training. Because we had people from all around the world training on this facility. We had everybody.
I don't know the pretzels make.
We were training Azerbaijanis. We were training Lithuanians. We were training people from South. The U.S. military trains the armies and the soldiers of all of our allied countries in all of our military facilities here. Everything we know, we teach them because they are our allies, and it's a network.
It's a love heart network.
Now, John, it is 2:00. Are we getting a campaign call?
We are. I'm going to send him the link now. His name is Joe. I've never spoken to him. Please, everybody, practice all decorum and be polite. And you can be transparent with him because, I believe that he can actually do fundraising for the campaign. And I think this is like the way into the campaign is to try to essentially force somebody to be involved in an immediate campaign fundraising money bomb. So he has received the link. That's my terrible website above with the Clubhouse logo, actually. And you can go to the blog section, and then the first post, there's a link to the antidote, and I can post that as well. But if you do want to donate to this campaign, the money will be spent live. I will film a lot of these people doing circulation petitions, and I'll have them send in videos, come into Clubhouse rooms, post on X. Like, that's part of the job. They're also like a digital campaign content creator. So if you can't do the job, you can't do the job. But this is what we're asking people to do. And this guy said he wants to work now. So any man.
Now, John, I don't want to cut you off, but so does he know he has to be here at 2, or is this like at 2:15, or like?
No, he knows.
Right now is what I'm saying.
No, he knows. He's got the link. If he shows up, listen, this is what our last text messages are.
But is he late? Is my question. So right now he's late.
No, give the guy 5 minutes, for God's sakes. He just got the message. He just got the text. You got to give him 5 minutes.
I was always told that if you're on time, you're late. If you're 5 minutes early, you're on time.
This is a show. This is a show over here, Keegan. I'm the one doing the production over here.
Yeah, Keegan.
Is this like a racist thing? Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. I'm just making the claim that this individual has already shown me a lack of.
No, Keegan, this type of attitude I do not want in this room. You need positive vibrations with this young man. Please.
Keegan, you're gonna kick from your own room.
Yeah, Keegan. The whole point of this is a freshman in college or a fresh, private in the Army. This is somebody coming into the campaign who has no idea that there's this entire, backdrop to the campaign, but. He can help fundraise right now.
Man?
Listen, I hate to quote Kanye West in Keegan's room, but I want to quote Kanye West because I went to a Kanye West concert, and I bought a CD, and in the dust jacket, I'll never forget the most insane quote I ever read by Kanye West. He said, "If you can't be used, you are useless."
Type shit. You're Alex Jones. If you can't be used, you're useless.
That's a direct quote from a dust jacket in a Kanye West album. So I hope you're having as much fun as I am this morning. Pepe, I'm sure, is sitting there.
I'm not in fun anymore right now.
Well, listen, the point is, if this guy doesn't show up, he doesn't show up.
John?
He's not late, man. I sent him the link 2 minutes ago. It's 1:04. Give him to like 1:10, basically. The guy's never used the app before. He doesn't even have a profile, for Christ's sake.
Okay.
I don't know. Right. Keegan has a point, though. Keegan, you do have a point, though. Like, what does that say when he's late? What does that say about that?
Well, now, if anything, the implication hasn't put onto John. John, why are you not more organized, knowing that he was supposed to be here at 1, you didn't send him the link to 102?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was up last night till about 4 in the morning working, and I got up at 10 o'clock. So for me, I'm still just finishing my coffee, and this is the afternoon early show. So I go,
But John,
18 hours a day on this app.
But John, I'm worried. You as a congressman, if this is how you conduct yourself, I'm worried.
I hate to tell you this, Keegan, but this could be the future of communication. And I got to tell you, having worked, for Google, for Microsoft, for the Treasury Department and the IRS, and working in the U.S. Army, this is the quickest and fastest way to organize and to communicate transparently. It's a free conference call. And so in the chat, you can watch a private video which releases tomorrow with a major news network where candidate Congressman Kitover talks about economic philosophy and theory for about 45 minutes, about taxation and debt, about war and vaccines. It's a private video. I was told to make it private and unlisted because the main publisher who did the interview claims that they own the copyright. So now we have a copyright dispute about a video that I shot on 13 phones, and you can watch the primary phone, my best phone, my new phone, and you can watch this 45-minute interview. If you think any of my ideas are good, let me know. But I do know there are some errors that I made because I re-listened to this 45-minute podcast with a major news network. I may have said billions and not trillions, meaning that if we cut Medicare, Medicaid, we cut it by $1 trillion, not by 1 to 2 billion. I think I made a numbers mistake there in a segment. So anyways, I hope you're all enjoying this. If Joe is in the audience and you raise your hand, you can come up and Keegan and I will onboard you onto the campaign to elect John Kitover. Now, Keegan is not a part of this campaign. He's merely decided to co-host this event. This is as if he was doing like a signature petition, a luncheon or breakfast or dinner. He's hosting us. He's just the host. He's not involved in the campaign. He merely contributed his time to helping organize this conference call with you here in the audience right now. So thank you for being here. Go to johnforcongress.com. Look at my website and look at all the towns. Peckins. Have you ever heard of Peckins, Illinois? Have you ever heard of Bloomington, Norma, Illinois, Peoria, or Rockford, Illinois? This is a sliver of Trump country in the heart of Illinois. There are a lot of Republicans there. 85%, 95% people vote Republican. You should see the other guy running for Republican governor now. Keegan, you're not going to believe what the other Republican candidate looks like. It's to me, he could fucking win.
What's his name?
He's got a very complicated name. I think he's, either on the spectrum or he is an artist or a farmer. And just I think he's a legit, see, the thing is, you're going to have to judge by yourself because I don't want to be cruel to his fashion style because I think they're very artistic photos. Anyways, you'll see. Maybe I inspired him to run. Probably.
Are you putting it as your PTR or are you going to give us his name?
I'm going to have to Google this one. Oh, wait, I can just Google my name and he shows up.
Yeah.
So it's on ballotpedia.org. This is ballotpedia.org.
If you Google his name, does your name show up? Because that'd be, that'd be not good if everyone can Google you and he shows up. That's not good for your campaign.
Oh no, it's good. This is all good. I see, Keegan, I don't believe in censorship. I want to get to know people. I want to really look at what they post online. I want to know what they think about. I want to know who they're connected to. I want to know everything about everybody. So the point is, his name is Garth Gouletti.
Keegan Brad S is open the room.
Okay.
That might be a response room to the campaign to elect candidate Congressman John Kitover. But David, thank you very little, as usual.
Yeah.
We don't do respect, kick 'em. Go ahead, David. Tell us how to kick somebody. Oh, David got kicked. Who would have guessed? Okay, so.
No, I didn't kick him. You kicked him? Don't kick him.
I didn't kick him. He left, or he moved. He moved himself to the audience.
Don't kick anyone, John.
I didn't kick anybody, because I think David adds spice to the show. So, anyways, Let me pin the link to this guy, Garth Galletti. If people in the audience would like to contact him and try to invite him to Clubhouse, please do so. His name is Garth Galletti.
Yes, this is what we need. An official political debate between two candidates.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree. I've been trying to get Scott Kent Jones.
Wow,
Yep.
This individual.
Look at those photos. What's the name of that movie with where he does the dance?
Well, what about Darren LaHood? And that's the only other Republican. There's 3 Republicans running here, John.
I know. Look how many Democrats are running now.
A lot of Democrats, actually. That's kind of shocking. What's going on there? Has a Democrat won this seat before?
Well, they redistricted it, they say it skews 85% Republican, but we're going to find out because people are more politically activated now than ever before because of X and Instagram and everything else. I think people are really vested in politics, and really they view it as like an investment. You know, when I voted Trump, that's an investment, Every time you vote, you should basically get some type of an ROI percentage indicator on, what you're actually getting for your vote. I mean, it'd be really cool if there was some way to actually track your ROI on your vote in terms of like how much that vote costs in taxes, how much it costs in borrowing, and how much it costs in long-term debt liabilities. Like if you were to determine how much your vote actually costs you, it would be wild. You could track it all. There's ways to just look at GDP over 25 years or 50 years. Grok lets you do all kinds of amazing calculations. And part of this campaign is I have to put together policy papers or position statements. And I've done so many already on Grok, but they're not really organized. So I don't know. I'm probably going to create a new website soon. But I have so much invested in X. I have so many X accounts and so many YouTubes and so many Instagrams.
John, as I'm looking at these candidates, you got a tough task ahead of you.
No, it's really not. Keegan.
Darren LaHood, listen, he looks like a politician.
He is a politician, but Keegan, the whole point is my victory is getting on the ballot in March. When I get on that ballot and John Kitover is an option against Darren LaHood, I've done my job. That's all I can do. I'm live streaming this campaign. That's my victory. That's my win. Because no matter what, you can't take that away. When your name is printed on a ballot, Keegan, that makes you an official, it's not just a candidate. It's you've officially ran. Like you have that printout of that ballot. And so, the whole point is this is a branding effort for John Kitover to run in future politics because the political industrial complex controls all the borrowing and all the spending, all the decisions on all the pensions. Everything is tied up in politicians' compliance to the system. So if you believe that we're going to have to practice austerity in this country and we're going to have to cut pensions, you're going to have to vote for individuals like John Kitover. Because that's the only way you can probably keep this Ponzi scheme going. I think, the sooner we realize that we have an artificial 40% borrowed economy, the sooner the stocks will adjust. Yes, people are going to take hefty losses in the stock market when the government stops passing out free money. Aetna, United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're going to lay off thousands and their stocks are going to plummet 50%. But the market's going to correct.
John, when do we start worrying about this campaign fundraiser? He's not going to show. He could be a no-show. When do we start worrying about it?
Let me see if he texted us back. Oh, he didn't text us back. I'm going to text him now. No. Are you available? See, this is the thing. Is I guess I am kind of wasting your time with my show, but
no, I don't believe you were, and I don't think that was your intention at all.
So I want to give you again, I don't know if I can post the link again, but I hope you watch this private interview because I don't even want to leave the house until this video goes public. And I don't want to upset the publisher, even though he kind of like insulted me afterwards because I didn't respond fast enough on X to him in the comments. There's chat or email on X. And I don't look at it. And so he like called me out on one of my ex accounts as like saying he actually said that you should read what he wrote. It's very insulting after I did this 45-minute interview with him. But I will give him a lot of credit. He let me speak. Like he didn't interrupt me. Like he asked me a question and he let me go, for a good couple minutes. I don't know how I come off. I haven't watched the whole thing. And also the camera angle's kind of bad because I was looking at the Zoom conference call and my primary phone wasn't angled that well, but I filmed it on 13 phones. You can hear the police driving by my house hour after hour after hour. Oh, crime is down 38%? Really? Why are the police constantly flying down the streets to crises in the South Side? Please tell me why. I know people in the fire department that say that the numbers are like totally cooked and they don't report even half of what happens. So that's the truth about crime in major U.S. cities.
John, well, I don't think this. I think you're gonna have a no-show here, John.
You could be right. Let's see what he wrote back. Nothing.
I'm afraid, John. I'm afraid we have a no-show on our hands. Very sad. The momentum is strong, though, John. Truly, I believe it is strong. So what is the requirements to get you on the ballot?
It's like 675 signatures.
How many? Where are you at right now? And are they required to be in your district?
Yeah, they got to be registered voters in the 16th district, and so there's a way to look them up on the spot. There is.
So have you done some door knocking? Have you
So
are you
this
on
is.
door knocking yet? You giving out pamphlets?
So what's cool about X is you can ask Grok, hey, identify 25 voters in Rockford, Illinois, that would consider voting for candidate Congressman John Kitover. It gives you back the 25 profiles. So we message every single one of those 25 profiles by hand and ask them if they want to sign the petition. And if they do, we send them a DocuSign via email. They digitally sign, and we have one petition for every signature. So it's going to be a huge fucking binder because it could be 1-to-1 for like 300. So that's the most annoying thing is every single page has to be notarized. The compliance with ballot access is so laborious and ridiculous and expensive to do that unless you are extremely well organized and really hustling, it is very difficult to get on a ballot. And the challenge and review process.
I don't want to interrupt you here, John. I remember actually my mother ran for state representatives when I was a child. She did not win. She did get 40% of the vote, which I was very proud about.
Wow.
In the primary, which is running in the primary. Very, very proud of her trying it out. But I do remember as a little kid going door knocking, she was utilizing her children as being cute little representatives. And we would go knocking. It was Keegan Toy, I think I don't know what year it was, but freaking knocking on doors, going, will you elect Mom Keegan? And,
wow. So you and Marshall Rankin Stankin do have something in common.
No, did he do that as well?
Yeah, Marshall Rankin Stankin from Texas, a fake ass Republican. He claims he knocks on thousands of doors. Meanwhile, he can barely
walk. That was against my will.
Listen, Marshall Rankin Stankin has been one of the biggest annoying thorns in my side. He knows my voice, so if I try to change my voice, he goes, "That's Edmund Keckham." I cannot get past through the Marshall detector system. I have not been able to fool Marshall yet with like a prank call. Somehow he always knows it's me. So we're going to text one more individual who responded to the Craigslist ad right now, and I'll see if that person is available to
Well, John, I'm gonna let you take over the room. I do have to go, but good luck.
Okay, thank you, Keegan. Thank you for hosting. Okay, we're gonna see. Here we go. Hi, are you available? I hope you guys don't mind, but I would like to force every single person who works on this campaign to come through Clubhouse. Is that,
wrong of me to do? I don't think it is. I think it should be a requirement. Because if you can't figure out how to come on Clubhouse and join this room, you're gonna have a challenge getting signatures. And I got to tell you, people who respond to Craigslist ads, God bless them, they didn't go to Harvard Law. Okay, let's just put it that way. So a lot of people got a lot of difficulties in their life, a lot of anxieties and complexities, and not everybody can join a Clubhouse room if you ask them to. Some people don't respond. There's a lot of spam, so it's like you can't waste a lot of time. I know that I'm gonna have to do the heavy lifting on these signatures, like I did before. I had great people that helped me, but we were 60 signatures short last time, and I just want to say that the opposition we ran against, Estella Richards, the 45th Ward committee woman, I'm 100% sure that they committed ballot fraud or petition fraud, leading essentially to ballot fraud. my my 364 pages of signatures were dirty, crinkled, and had signatures and scribble all over them. Looked like they had been, touched for years. Their signatures looked like they were printed perfectly, as if someone will be able to get the number of signatures to get on the ballot in March.
Don't forget to hit the metro stations in your district. Those are great places to harvest ogres from. Let's go back to the hood real quick. You call him a rhino, which is become almost cliche at this point. Everyone's a rhino is running against someone else. When we look at him, though, his voting record isn't. You guys see eye to eye on some stuff. What is it you're not seeing eye to eye on him with him that caused you to run here?
Really, it was his COVID-19 response. If you do a cross comparison between open secrets and all the HR acts that he has voted on, it's not a 10% or an 80% correlation. It is 100% correlation between all open secrets donors and all HR acts. So there's 100% correlation between HR acts and lobbyists who are essentially paying him to vote for all these funding measures. And it started with the HEROES Act and the CARES Act. The amazing thing about Grok on X is you can use it to go through all the HR acts and identify by the largest acts and whether LaHood voted on it, and then who the Fortune 500 corporations are that received the most amount of money through those acts. And there's 100% correlation in open secrets with all his donors. He has over $12 million or over $10 million in his campaign account. And so in my opinion, he's running a skimming operation. And this is what a lot of Congress people are doing. They have 10 to 20 to 30 million in their checking account, all given by lobbyists. So that is primarily the reason why I want to wake people up in the 16th district. Say, hey, he has created $20 trillion in debt plus $5 trillion a year over 10 years. He's responsible for spending $70 trillion. What have the people in Illinois District 16 really gotten from LaHood for all those trillions of dollars? I mean, he likes to say it's all about jobs at Caterpillar, et cetera. So in my opinion, he's wasting the money. We have to stop borrowing and spending, and that's why I'm running against Aaron LaHood in the 16th district.
Ooh. And deference to your campaign too, some of those jobs he talks about didn't really appear. Look at what happened with Stellantis.
Aaron LaHood, they're not debate candidate Congressman John Kitover. Aaron LaHood might get a shocker. It's difficult to create a successful business. I've launched many different businesses, and you can borrow from the taxpayers and create these businesses that go out of business, like Fisker and the electric buses that Pritzker gave us. So it's super hard to create a business, and when a government creates a business by borrowing and taxing, that's not the bedrock or the cornerstone for building a good business. They're set up to fail, and it puts all the debt on future taxpayers. So it's an unfair bargain.
No. What else? What did you do in the Army? You're in the Army National Guard. What did you do there? I know you're an officer, so it's not. It's a little different. I'm not looking for
It's Baby JB. Hey, Baby JB. I've been hearing about you, Baby JB.
In Charleston, South Carolina. And while I was there, 9/11
You're like depolarizing JB. You're bringing in Baby JB. I was like, oh, just think about JB like a baby. He's a baby.
So I started out as a PFC, then a specialist, then a sergeant in the infantry. And so I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, practiced war fighting for 4 months in the forests of Georgia.
Graduated college, got commissioned in intelligence, and I worked in translations, interrogations. But, you know, the Army is Army work. That's digging trenches, fighting, and being in cities. I didn't deploy to Afghanistan or Iraq. I was all around the United States. And then I started working in digital communications. So I think from like a forensic accounting standpoint, let alone just AI and the queries that I have put into Grok. If you go to my X account, it's John Kitover, Illinois, that's IL. And I will retweet some of my best Grok queries trying to untangle congressional borrowing and spending, borrowing from the Federal Reserve, really looking at our ledger books, our balance statements, and saying, you know what, guys like Darren LaHood are kicking the can down the road over and over, 10 years now. So this is, you know, my background, but I'm really trying to stop the borrowing and the spending. I think it has to become a mantra with Republicans. I'm standing with Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, Ron Paul. I supported the Ron Paul campaign from California. I have a good picture with him. And I just believe that we are digging a hole. We have to stop digging this hole of debt and borrowing and spending from the Federal Reserve. We have to cut Medicare, Medicaid. We have to cut the NDAA. And I think we can preserve Social Security, but cutting the military-industrial complex and big pharma are the number 2 priorities of my campaign. So that means Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, Pfizer, Moderna, J&J, AstraZeneca, the hundreds of billions of dollars in tax credits that they got from the big beautiful bill, $500 billion a year from taxpayers in tax credits. That is the primary focus of my campaign.
You segued exactly where I wanted to go. I was just going to ask you about the big beautiful bill. That was a huge expansion of spending. So I think you pretty much told us where you stand on that. You weren't exactly pro big beautiful bill then.
We can kill the 2 biggest problems in our society, which is the military-industrial complex and big pharma. We have to cut the Medicare and Medicaid by probably $1 billion to $2 billion a year, and the National Defense Authorization Act by about $200 to $400 billion a year. We'll be able to start paying down the debt. We can lower taxes, and we can stop funding big pharma, which is poisoning us, and the military-industrial complex, which is taxing us and, you know, doing military policing around the world. And Darren LaHood has kicked the can and funded this for 10 years. He's been a congressman in the 16th district, and I think the connecting district before redistricting. But he is a can kicker. I'm going to crush his can, and I'm going to recycle it for the American people and for the people in the state of Illinois.
Let's talk about vaccinations. I'm not real clear on where you're on vaccinations as far as if it's just a COVID.
I think actually the interview was pretty good.
What's your stand on other
This is
vaccines?
in college, what they call public speaking.
COVID-19, and that vaccine response, the HEROES Act in March of 2020 was the first $1 trillion tranche or omnibus bill that Darren LaHood voted for. And that is the start of it. That's when Pfizer was able to, print up 30 billion cocktails. A lot of these vaccines were manufactured in India because it was a patent and it was mass produced around the world. Yeah. That's not variable medicine. That's giving one solution to everybody for a problem that Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates and the World Health Organization cooked up in Wuhan, China. So to just immediately go to the 72 vaccine schedule that young people have to take, we're living in a vaccine industrial complex. It's not a vaccine diet. This is not acute targeted medicine. This isn't variable. This morning on X, we read through MAHA and the February 18-page PDF that was put out by Secretary Kennedy and the NIH. And I think right now, Big Pharma and Kennedy are still colliding, and the gold standard in scientific research has yet to really been proven. I think we're still very much living in a big pharma, big medical industrial complex, which demands the money. And so again, cutting Medicare and Medicaid will choke big pharma, and I think it'll improve our health outcomes. I'm not a fan of all these vaccinations. It's out of control. Why does a 3-year-old need 72 injections? I mean, can you explain that, George? It's insane what we're living with.
Well, I am a nurse, so I can't kind of explain it. These are all diseases we're trying to keep that 3-year-old from having. My grandkids are getting vaccinated now. My children got vaccinated. We get no health problems from those vaccines. I can see why people are upset about on the COVID vaccine because it was again, I said I was a nurse. One thing we were taught is always the patient's choice whether they take a medicine or they don't. They kind of had COVID jammed down their throat, so I get the anger there. But I never really quite, and yeah, I go back as a conservative a long way. I'm almost 60 now. I never ran for Congress. I was a state councilman, though, in Georgia. So I've been involved in Republican politics for a long time. I don't think anyone would say anything other than a conservative. But the things like eliminating smallpox have gone a long way. We couldn't do that without those vaccines. The chicken pox, people live through that. I mean, my grandkids are getting, I believe my kids are getting the chicken pox one. I don't think it's hurting anyone. It's keeping them from scarring and later, protecting them from shingles a little bit later.
Well, I would just say that I've seen documentation from the George Bush administration that suggests that Operation Warp Speed was long in the making. I think this is a pandemic, scamdemic, plandemic. I don't trust it. The lockdowns, the baby diaper masks, people are very angry still. And when you bring up COVID-19 vaccines and the lockdown, Darren LaHood told his constituents via X, if you don't take this injection, this pandemic will never end. You have to get vaccinated. Otherwise, you'll never be able to go back to work. That's the type of messaging he put out on his X account. You can search it. Just go to Darren LaHood's X account, type in vaccine, and see what he told everybody. He was doing propaganda messaging, pushing out big pharma talking points. That's not leadership. That's doing what your lobbyist, multi-million-dollar contributors tell you to do. And he's telling everybody on his X account, his Facebook account with 27,000 followers. So, in my opinion, he's pushing propaganda, and he voted for it. And he took out he took out trillions of loans on your behalf to fund this. We're $37 trillion in debt, and we have $100 trillion in unfunded debt liabilities. That's a total of $137 trillion. So everybody in this country owes over $100,000 right now to the federal government and the balance sheet. And Darren LaHood doesn't talk about it. All he talks about is how the big, beautiful bill is so beautiful. It's not beautiful. It's taxation, but by loading it on the back end. So in my opinion, he is not leading the people in his district, and he's a failure as a congressional representative in the 16th district. And in Illinois, he's just a can kicker. And I just want to reiterate, everyone has to chant the mantra, stop borrowing, stop spending.
And that is good to hear Cameron say, because we go back into what some people call the bipartisan combine. Everyone's just taxing and spending. There really has not been a responsible financial party for a very long time. And it's good to hear people coming up through the ranks and running for office saying, yeah, we got to stop this, because it's not sustainable. You're absolutely right on that. I'm curious, too. You went right for congressional seats. Generally, people coming up through the ranks will say, oh, you're going to start at, you'll start at city council, you'll start at county board, you'll start at the township level. You went right for Congress. Mostly, it seems, because of the job that LaHood's doing. Did you have any thought about starting lower and working up, or was this just you were passionate about ending LaHood's reign in Congress?
Well, let me just say, this is not the second time I've run for politics. I ran for committee person here in the 45th Ward in Chicago, and that is what created this rocket that is trying to defeat Darren LaHood, because that experience of dealing with all kinds of low-down, dirty, grimy local politicians and the lawyers, and let me just describe to you what happened. So I ran for committee person. I spent about 45 days at the Jefferson Park. I hired people off of Craigslist. We gathered about 800 signatures. Every single signature was challenged by the Chicago GOP. We were about 60 signatures short. But I filed an appeal. I had to go downtown, go through the election courts, had about 2 trials. The challenger, Estella Richards, the 45th Ward committee woman, never showed up. She couldn't provide any testimony, wouldn't provide any testimony in terms of questioning. So in my opinion, my constitutional rights were denied me, and this deals with ballot access. Right. I have no doubt that this time going around, we will get the total number of signatures to actually be on the ballot. It's less than 700. And let me tell you, when you file for Congress, it only takes you 15 minutes to file. So my question is, where are the patriots and the Republicans in Peoria and Rockford that want to stand up to all this borrowing and spending? Where are the libertarians even that are not stepping up to the plate? A lot of people aren't getting anything for their vote, but they're still going to vote for Darren LaHood. So, I mean, this is why I decided to run for Congress, because the issue is that important, that this is not just whether or not I win or get on the ballot. This is about creating communication to as many people as possible to recite the mantra. Stop borrowing, stop spending. Every single year, we're borrowing $2 trillion and only taking in $5 trillion. So this is, why I'm running and why we have to defeat Darren LaHood in Illinois 16.
Well, it's just the old Illinois GOP mantra. It's not your turn yet, right? This is why no one's running, because they go up through their county, their county GOP, and they're told it's not your turn. Or in your case, I'm sure you would have been told start smaller, start at the township level, start this. Of course, the Chicago GOP is still completely dysfunctional. Maybe they didn't tell you that, but this is the same thing I hear over and over again as I talk to candidates. They're being told it's not your turn.
Listen, it's everybody's turn. There should be 100 people lining up when there's no filing fee and it takes you 15 minutes. And now there's another Republican candidate running, and I think there's 4 Democrats running against Darren LaHood. So people are waking up and standing up. Darren LaHood really flies under the radar, but he has a very powerful position in Congress. So in my opinion, the more people standing up to Darren LaHood, either we force him to start obeying our Constitution and give us a fair and balanced budget, or he's just going to keep plunging us into debt and creating future tax liabilities for your children. The guy is, in my opinion, dishonest, and I think we have to, crush his can that he keeps kicking.
Let's switch up for a little bit. Let's talk about the district you're running for. Your district runs, you're in Chicago, it's in Peoria, it's in Rockford. Let's talk gerrymandering. Where's our solution here? I mean, right now the Republicans, we're roughly half the state's electorate. We only have 3 congressional seats, one you're running for. Is there hope here? What's the answer here? As long as you're that outnumbered, how do we fix this?
Well, let me tell you, before working at the Treasury Department doing facilities management, I worked at the Census Bureau downtown Chicago. So I was opening and closing census offices, and it's a lot of work to open a census office to gather that data. And that is the only agency in our Constitution. All these other agencies are not there. The census is the only one that should technically be funded. Most of these other agencies, I think we could eliminate a large percentage of them. These are the top towns in the 16th district, and these are the towns that are voting for Darren LaHood. It's Rockford, which has 148,000 people. Peoria has 113,000. Bloomington, 78,000. Normal, 52,000. Pekin, 31,000. Belvedere, 25,000. Loves Park, 23,000. I could go on and on and on. There's a lot of cities. The way to really deal with this gerrymandering and all this insane districting, when you see the map, it looks like this crazy jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
So from my experiences working at the census and hearing and listening and working with higher ups, there's a lot of corruption when it comes to this districting and the Census Bureau itself. So I think the Trump administration has put forth a bill saying that illegal aliens will no longer be allowed in the districting maps. So there's a lot of ways to clear it up. And the number way to clear up all these problems is transparency. And actually, having access to the data that the Commerce Department puts out and what the legislature is using here in the state of Illinois. But running for Congress, I'm looking at bigger issues than just districting here. I'm looking at the national debt, which could sink this ship that we are all on. Illinois is in a fiscal crisis. Chicago's in a fiscal crisis. Illinois has $200 billion in debt and $60 billion in unfunded pension liabilities. My father is a retired Chicago police officer. And in my opinion, Chicago and Illinois are being run like Clown Town. This is clown world we're living in. People aren't transparent. All they want to do is racial identity politics, and we're not being fiscally conservative. We are, this is my biggest gripe that Elon Musk helped expose, which is through Doge, If you look at all the screenshots on the Doge X account, it's all for DEI and climate change education. Hundreds of billions of dollars in education grants. Northwestern isn't getting, I think, what is it, $500 million? All of these huge institutions that have huge endowments, why is the federal government funding all of this? We're $37 trillion in debt. So again, I want to reiterate the mantra, stop borrowing, stop spending.
Well, they're funding it because the Democrats are in charge of assigning more Democrats, right? You turn the schools into your propaganda mills. With not saying Northwestern is an excellent school, you wouldn't get an excellent education there, but it's also turned out a lot of excellent socialists and communists over the last 20 years. So,
well, they're winning, George. They're winning, and they're in control of our money. You know, Illinois is a Democrat industrial complex. I have a book over here from the Democratic Party in the 1950s. They don't look like that today. They are so unprofessional and so Marxist and so radical. You know, the stuff that comes out of Chicago politics is absolutely deranged. The mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, he said just the other day that white structural racism and supremacy is to blame for the 600 deaths during the heat wave in 1997. You know, what does that have to do with the debt and the deficits? The Chicago Public Schools has, what, $107 or $715 million deficit, or is 100? So the point is, they're not talking. I want accountants and forensic accountants and people, financially minded people running the government, not the insane political spam that they spew every single day. Darren LaHood does it the same way, but in a different way. He takes photos with veterans, takes photos with the police. You know, his dad, Ray LaHood, is an Obama transportation secretary. Right. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And in my opinion, Obama is the worst president this country has ever had. So, you know, there's other things about Ray LaHood that, you know, people shouldn't forget. That he had $50,000 in cash that some Nigerian scammer gave him that the FBI investigated, and the FBI took Darren LaHood's laptop. So this is a very politically connected family, a very powerful family, and I need this video to hopefully go viral so people can donate to this campaign to defeat Darren LaHood, because he's going to keep kicking the can and create $2 trillion a year every single term he gets. So if you want to stop the borrowing and spending with me, you know, go to johnforcongress.com. You can text the campaign directly at 312-498-0517. And on johnforcongress.com, click on the blog section. You can see our antidote link to make a donation. I'll update the site after this interview because hopefully I'll push it out and we'll get a lot of views and raise more money, because you know, I live in Chicago in the Northwest side. I'm going to drive up to Rockford. I'm going to drive to Peoria. I'm going to drive to Bloomington and Normal, Illinois, and I hope to meet people in the streets or at the bars or at the train stops who have watched this video and want to sign on the petition to defeat Darren LaHood.
Listen, your district is frankly crazy too, the way they drew that up. I mean, and again, it's another way to, it's all about suppressing Republican vote. And so it's you wonder why people aren't lining up to run for it. Who wants to drive from Chicago to Rockford, Peoria every weekend, which is where you're at, right? You've got to reach out, you got to knock on doors, you got to talk to people, and they put you in a position where it's almost impossible to cover the ground you need to cover to actually win this thing.
It's not that many signatures, so I'm not stressed out about it. To become a committee person in the Chicago GOP, it's the same number of signatures as it is to become a congressperson. So that's insane. And, you know, I think there's a lot of Republicans, and, you know, this is the interesting thing. If you go to Darren LaHood's X account and you look at the comments section, it's nothing but hate for Darren LaHood. And I know a lot of it is probably liberal Democrats replying, but there are a lot of Republicans that are sick of the borrowing and spending.
Well, that's a frustrating part of our demographic, I think. Like I said, this is something we talk about a lot, but don't act on it. When we do act on it, I mean...
Mike, this is an exclusive interview for campaign contributors like you, Mike. This was a one-on-one interview with a big online podcast yesterday.
Back to the big, beautiful bill. There are good things or there are bad things. The debt we're taking on clearly is the bad thing. Let's talk about, let's go back and talk about something we're talking about too, and that's their identity-based politics and everything. And the amount of hatred there is out there now. What do you think the answer is there? How do we bring not just Republicans back into the fold that may have left because of things like the deficit, but also bring Democrats around to thinking where they're a loyal opposition again, as opposed to just crazy race-baiting lunatics that they're out for blood and hate the president. I mean, there's not a lot of logic to what we're doing. How do we fix this?
Well, I hope you get a chuckle out of my response here. So I would just ask for a moment of silence and stillness and take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. It's wisdom and education. So I think, I've spent a lot of time doing a lot of yoga, reading a lot of books, going to the gym. For me, preparing for this moment, it's the now. So I feel like my whole life, the destiny has led up to running against Darren LaHood in the 16th district. And so, to me, all the racial identity politics, there's a lot of ways to be political. I would say that the national debt is a way to be political. Vaccines are a way to be political. Abortion is a way to be political. I can name 10 to 100 other ways that one can be political. And so really, to me, it's wisdom education, reading scripture, reading sacred texts that point out eternal truths, universal truths amongst all of us. So when somebody does a racial identity, a political attack, or brings it up in the discourse, I just consider it spam and political. If I was to pull out my Bible flashcards here and read you a bunch of sacred scripture, you could say that's being political, but I would also add that it's education in terms of wisdom. So that is the only real true response I have to people who want to do racial identity politics.
All right, so you touched on your big issues are the immunizations and the budget. What else would your term in Congress focus on outside of those two issues?
Well, I thought, I've been kind of meditating on this. Like, if you were the leader of a tribe, what would you want for the people in your tribe? Or if you're a congressperson or a president or the leader of a business, it's primarily, you do not see in Darren LaHood's X account, he never talks about his constituents' property taxes. He doesn't talk about their income taxes. He talks about, hey, I don't want you to be able to file for free with the IRS, so I'm going to get rid of that so H&R Block and Tax Pro can keep charging you another $200 to $300 a year to file. So, this is the issue is, lowering Illinois and District 16 property taxes, lowering their income taxes, and lowering their public debt and their private debt. Those would be four issues that I would want to look out for if I was the leader of the 16th district as a congressperson in terms of legislation. Again, I want to lower your property taxes, lower your income taxes, lower your public debt, which is the national debt at $37 trillion, as well as the state of Illinois. And also lower your private debt. Now, if that means lowered interest rates, that means asking Chairman Powell politely to lower the rate from 4 to 7% down to 1%. So it's all artificial. We're doing it to ourselves. We're stressing ourselves out. The system is stressed out, and therefore we are going to be more stressed out. But a lot of this is of our own making, and we are our own worst enemy. Again, Darren LaHood voted for the HEROES Act, the CARES Act. I could read them to you from my X right now. I wanted to come more prepared with a lot more Grok data. But if you go to John Kitover, Illinois, I will re-query and create more queries that I hope people who watch this video will go to John Kitover IL on X, follow me, and you can see a lot of these queries, which is really just forensic accounting and data analytics of the Treasury.gov app. So Thomas Massey has a lapel that says 37 trillion. That data from his Wi-Fi lapel comes from Treasury.gov, straight from the Treasury API. So if you go to usdebtclock.org, they use a different API, but nonetheless, you can get a better picture of the financial balance sheet of the United States of America. And so when Darren LaHood, through the Big Beautiful Bill Act, gives the Fortune 500 $500 billion a year in tax credits, that's all future tax liabilities for you. It's transferring it from the Fortune 500 to we the people. That's not why you're voting for Darren LaHood, is it? I hope it's not, because if you are, you're voting for your own demise. We're giving ourselves away. The Declaration of Independence says they are eating out our substance. And in my opinion, Darren LaHood is eating out the substance of America and the people in the 16th district. And Illinois politics is so corrupt and the people are so sleazy. It's taking a grassroots effort of a guy in Jefferson Park in the northwest side of Chicago to say no more borrowing and spending.
You talked about cuts. There were two you mentioned that I was specifically interested in. Cuts to Medicare and Medicaid. They're not going to go well with the older people on Medicaid, the older voter. And you also talked about cuts on defense. You talked about $400 million in cuts in defense.
$400 billion.
$4 billion, yeah. Where do you see these cuts coming from? What are we cutting to come up with these numbers?
So Medicare and Medicaid, the average amount per citizen spent is about $15,000 to $18,000. That money is going to health insurance and to large hospital providers and to administrative expenses like doctor salaries, nurse salaries, etc. That's almost $20,000 a person. And if you have advanced, diseases and you're on 30 prescriptions, now you're talking about $60,000 a year or $160,000 a year. The point is, we have to take these two snakes that are drowning this nation in debt, big pharma and health insurance and the military-industrial complex. We have to start choking these two snakes. Otherwise, the whole ship is going to sink into hyperinflation. By 2050, the United States government will be paying $4 trillion a year in interest on the national debt. And we're only taking in $5 trillion a year because of these two snakes. You could look at it like the rod of Caduceus. You're a nurse, you've seen that symbol. These are the two snakes choking our livelihood in this country. Everybody is on the hook for this money, but we keep kicking the can down the road. So we have to stop borrowing and stop spending.
But where are these cuts coming from?
It's coming. It's
going all over the world. You're a veteran too. I'd hate to. My son's in the Marine Corps. I served in the Marine Corps. I'd hate to see cuts that are going to endanger the people out there protecting us. And like I said, as far as Medicare cuts go, you got an uphill battle on that one because half the people are going to vote for you aren't going to like that. So what are you cutting there?
I just want to reiterate my economic philosophical position deals with transparency and shedding light on the problems. We have to set priorities. If we want to have a lethal fighting force that is capable of going anywhere in the world to destroy our enemy who may commit terror against us, we have to set priorities. And if that means decommissioning or not building the next generation of aircraft carriers or fighter jets, we have to remember priorities. And if that means, Fortune 500 corps aren't, a lot of this is going to be the stock market. You see, I don't want to take the oil out of the engine. I want to essentially optimize the oil that we're using. We have to optimize our spend. This is like a game. This is essentially game theory. And unfortunately, we are at 40% of our economy is all based on borrowed money, borrowing and spending. That's not an authentic, transparent economy. So the sooner we actually get real and stop being children and say, hey, okay, a lot of this net profit is just because Congress is borrowing and spending through HR acts and the Federal Reserve. Chairman Powell said, we don't ask Congress for monetary advice, and we don't give fiscal advice. Whatever Congress does is a given, and we put it in our models. What kind of leadership response is that from the head of the Federal Reserve? Let's set some priorities and say, you know what? We have to optimize and be effective in our deployment of our spending. It's the way a business runs. When I was at the Treasury Department, I asked the senior leader, I said, are we allocating spending to locations where we know we're going to get a better ROI? Why are we building all these new offices if this area of the country is not has no good GDP? We need to go where, if you're going to tax, go where the money's at. No, it doesn't matter. We just got to spend, and we got to, spend. That's how they act. There's no optimization of our game theory as an economy. It's unpatriotic, and we're already $37 trillion in debt. Back in 2001, when 9/11 kicked off, we had $2 trillion in debt. That's manageable. $37 trillion is a crisis. And Chairman Powell says it's totally unsustainable. And in fact, he did a Freudian slip and he said it's unsustainable at the moment. And we're approaching that level where if Congress doesn't wise up and people don't start following Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, a lot of other Republicans in the Liberty Caucus and a lot of libertarians are still very vocal about this, but you will not see Darren LaHood come on your podcast or ever put out any messaging about the national debt. He does not want you thinking about it.
Let's close on Social Security. Also unsustainable. If I call it a pyramid scheme. Any efforts to privatize any of it have always failed. How do we fix that? Well, whatever we wind up doing, if you're in Congress, there's a chance this is going to start to collapse on you. So what are your thoughts on that?
So some people might not like this response because maybe it's not fiscally conservative enough, but Social Security is the only, it's the second largest line item. I want to keep it 100% intact, but I want, as Doge did, eliminate all the fraud, waste, and abuse in it, especially international fraud. There's still probably a lot of international schemers and scammers ripping that system off. But again, if you look at the snake analogy of Medicare, Medicaid, the medical industrial complex, and the National Defense Authorization Act, and our military industrial complex, the middle pillar is really us. It is our Social Security. So let's actually just enhance the program. If we take away from big military and big pharma, we can increase payouts to Social Security recipients who, at this point, are 100% involved in a Ponzi scheme. We're $37 trillion in debt, and we're paying over $1 trillion a year in interest to service that debt. Essentially, we have a $37 trillion mortgage that costs us $1 trillion a year. Every year, we keep adding $2 trillion to the $37 trillion.
Right.
So again, we have to start making cuts, and we have to start paying down the debt. But I say preserve Social Security, because that Ponzi scheme, you paid into it. Plus, you got to pay income taxes on the money you already paid in. So you're double taxed, triple taxed. You're taxed from every degree of reality. And that is not the way America was set up to be. We need to maximize liberty, maximize our freedom, and be fiscally conservative. We've gone through a 25-year war and then a big pandemic scamdemic. After periods of warfare, you practice austerity. So this isn't, a debt derangement syndrome rant. This is an American austerity syndrome that people need to start getting infected with, because if you're not part of the problem, you are literally plunging your children into forever debt. There's not going to be some debt jubilee. There's not going to be some meeting of the minds. This is a comprehensive financial system that doesn't forgive debt at the national levels. We owe this to China, Japan, the UK. We owe it to the Federal Reserve. So until people start repeating my mantra, stop borrowing,
stop spending,
and vote for John Kitover in the 16th district, do not let Darren LaHood kick this can down the road any further. Hold him accountable. Demand a town hall and let him know your feelings about the COVID-19 mass vaccination, about the national debt. Let him know how you really feel about how he's representing you, and if he actually has your best interest at heart, or he has him and his own family's best interest at heart. He's got over $10 million in his campaign checking account from Blue Cross Blue Shield, from Caterpillar, from Moderna, Pfizer, J&J, Comcast, Verizon, AT&T. Everybody has given to Darren LaHood. And the last thing I want to say is LaHood gave us the Broadband Act, which is a $65 billion giveaway to Comcast, AT&T, Verizon. I want to hear one person in the 16th district that has ever gotten high-speed internet that they didn't already have it before, and that Darren LaHood didn't just give you a pile of debt and taxes on the back end.
I would say you're going to be hard-pressed to find that person. I think we were pretty okay on broadband in this area, at least by the time that happened. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was John Kitover, congressional candidate. I had a great time talking to him today. We'll have you back as you pass the primary. Good luck on your petitions. And what do you have on say on the way out? What's your elevator pitch to our watchers?
Well, if you live in Rockford, if you live in Peoria, if you live in Bloomington, Normal, Pekin, Belvedere, Loves Park, Mackenzie Park, East Peoria, Morton, Washington, Dixon, Morris, Chanahan, Streeter, Pontiac, Roscoe, Harvard, Rochelle, South Beloit, and Rockton, go to johnforcongress.com. That's with a 4. or text the campaign at 312-498-0517. That's 312-498-0517. Or go to johnforcongress.com. I need your campaign contributions so I can get on the road, come to your town, shake your hand, get your signature on our petition, and we have to get 1,000 signatures within the next 2 weeks. And I hope that this video goes viral. I will push it out across all my platforms. And I'm also going to take our campaign contributions that we've raised, and I'm going to run this video as an advertisement in your town, in Rockford, in Peoria, through Google, YouTube. So if you want to donate and you want this message of liberty and fiscal conservatism and anti-mRNA spike proteins in you every single turn, that Bill Gates wants you to eat spike proteins, basically. So I'm trying to mix in a little comedy, but I hope people are resonating with the message that we have to stop borrowing and spending. It's what's causing all of these problems. And we're $37 trillion in debt. We have a $37 trillion mortgage with a $1 trillion annual interest payment. You didn't sign up for that when you voted for Darren LaHood, and he's going to keep giving it to you. So I need your help. I need your support. Go to johnforcongress.com. Thanks, George.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll cut it here. Send me all your social accounts. We'll put it in the show notes and everything so people can see it. And going to try to have this out. Today's Tuesday? Going to try to have it out by Friday. All right.
Okay, God bless, George. I really appreciate it, and I'm so happy that you're so well organized and helped me create this message. God bless you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Like I said, you can just text me or email me back the social media. We'll put it down in the show notes. And good luck to you. We'll check in again after petition season is over. Hopefully, you're good. You got a lot of good areas to farm for petition signatures, though. So I think you're gonna be fine.
I agree. I think it'll be rich petition turnout this time. I thank you, George.
Good. All right. You take care.
Okay. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Recording stopped.
All right.
What'd you think, Mike? What'd you think? I think I did a pretty good job. I don't think I said anything that was inaccurate.
No, I think it was good. I agree with everything you said, for sure. But no, I mean, I don't know if the figures were inaccurate or not, but you had good energy. You sounded passionate, which I always appreciate. You were interesting to listen to, like funny and charismatic. I mean, I don't think you're behind any of the other candidates when it comes to that part of it. I mean, as you start making money, you'll have way more of an chance than you seem to have now. But you got to start somewhere. I think that interview was good.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
Good. You got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you sounded charismatic and you sounded funny. I don't know when I clicked out. I wasn't looking at my phone, but I thought you had good energy and happy vibes. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
You're talking about stuff that sucks, and you made it sound kind of like you're not too beat up about it. You just want to fix it.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
Yeah, it's amazing how he'll say, well, all my friends and family are overseas in the military. We can't withdraw support for them. How dare you? Or I work at a nursing home, and how dare you withdraw support for my job and the people I work for? It's like, okay, but you do realize we're borrowing from you to spend on you. That's not the way an economy works. You make a slice of pizza for $1, you sell it for $5.50. Okay, that's how a business works. That's the way a lot of governments around the world work. We're the only clown world government. We have become a banana clown world republic.
I know. I like when he's like, well, what are we going to cut in the military? First thing I thought of was, I just read the other day that an F-22 costs $85,000 an hour to fly, but the F-35s cost $35,000 to $45,000 an hour to fly. So they're half the price of an F-22. Meanwhile, they're basically capable of doing the same shit. Why do we have overlapping aircraft, one of which are twice as expensive as the other one? And we're already such a large industrial complex in the first place. I mean, we could stop manufacturing vast amounts of the shit we got and be just fine for several years. So I don't know. The point is, where's it going to come from? It's going to come from cutting some of the shit that the military gets. You're going to have to say no to them sometimes. We haven't won a war in fucking 2 decades anyway, so I don't know why we say yes to everything. Make them work for it. had his sons in the Marine Corps. You know as well as I do that the Marine Corps is the most cost-efficient military organization that this country has. Like, the Marine Corps does it the right way. They don't cost very much for what they bring value-wise. The Air Force, opposite. They're incredibly expensive for what they bring to the table. So why don't you cut the Air Force and distribute the fucking pilots to the other services? That's another idea.
Well, I gotta say, our military is pretty cool, and I think even at $800 billion a year, the military will do just fine, continue being cool, and continue having the greatest weapons on Earth. I don't think cutting spending by 20% is too much to ask after 25 years at war. What do you think, Mike?
100%. I mean, it's a lot of money, dude. It's a lot of money. I love it when we say we can't afford universal health care. We can't afford college for everybody. But then we spend and go into debt for all this other shit at astronomical amounts. Like, you can spend, we have the ability to spend on whatever the fuck we think is important to spend on. And the reverse is also true. We have the ability to cut whatever the fuck we have the appetite to focus on.
I mean, our focus has to be on essentially stopping borrowing and stopping spending. And that's like saying no to people. And there's only people out there looking for yeses. So, unfortunately, most people are not accustomed to saying no. And all this happens with the lobbyists. You know, there's, 13,000 lobbyists in DC, spending a combined total of $150 billion a year, putting it into checking accounts. Bernie Sanders, I think, has received over $30 billion in big pharma donations. Have you seen the list of the big pharma donations? It's unbelievable. 30 million, 29 million, 27 million, 26 million. Like, there are senators and congress people out there like Senator Warren, who has received almost $30 million in big pharma campaign contributions. That's a lot of money. And she gave us the National Financial Protection Bureau that Donald Trump is trying to shut down, which is a huge financial regulatory agency with huge powers over all kinds of different financial service companies. So, you know, that type of legislation and that funding and those annual budgets, I mean, that's what needs to be cut. There's 15 agencies that could be cut completely, just in the same way that USAID was shut down. These agencies are not in our Constitution, and they are nothing but a tax burden to we the people. So, you know, I think going the Millier Argentinian economic approach is the way to deal with our fiscal crisis. Cut, 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 cut. Anyways, all right, I'm going to go into the meditation portion of this campaign video. I hope you enjoy. There's a lot of exclusive videos that I'd like to share from the past 12 days here on Clubhouse. It's all still private, though, because it auto goes to private. I'm not going to guess that. I'm not going to talk about anybody else or former speakers. You know, in the Muff, in Mojo's room, the rule is don't bring old drama from old rooms into this room. And that brings you into the now. So the now is all important. And I'm just wondering, why is Dr. Adams supporting Darren LaHood against the campaign to elect candidate Congressman Kitover?
I don't want to talk about your campaign anymore. We're done with that. Not Can I say something? Please. Before this person leaves the room. Abby, I don't mean to cut you out. I have tons of respect for Abby, but I want to issue an apology to Abby. Because I didn't get a chance to do this the other day in the month. There was a heated discussion going on, Abby and somebody else. I don't remember what they were talking about. Maybe it was Trump. I don't know. But they were very, very...
I'm not going to guess that. I'm not going to talk about anybody else or former speakers. You know, in the Muff, in Mojo's... Okay, so what I think we're going to do is I'm going to leave my campaign interview that you just listened to on repeat. And, like, that'll be, you know, my content for the rest of the day. I think I should just leave that interview and let it run. The thing for me is I'm on Clubhouse so much. I've done these, like, conversations so many times that, to me, that sounds like a Clubhouse room. And I know I repeat myself a lot. So, you know, I feel like this is a good recording because it basically captures a lot of my opinions.
What do you mean they're
ideologies or beliefs or anything like that.
What do you mean they're poor? Who cares about that? You know what? I'm poor. And not everyone's rich.
They were lying, and you got thrown under the bus. But do you know what the best thing to do is?
Go ahead.
Tell them that they were lying, and you got thrown under the bus. But do you know what the best thing to do is?
Go ahead.
Tell them that they were lying.
What do you mean they're poor? Who cares about?
You don't even know the truth anymore, do you, Aziz?
You don't know up from down. You don't know left from right. You don't really speak English. We're a stranger in a strange land, Aziz. You don't really fit in, let's be honest. We don't have any interest in your terrorism, or your grooming gangs, or your lying. I hope God does give you the justice that you deserve, Aziz, and I'm sure He will. The lying is ending, Aziz. Your lies are over. It's truth time. It's time to pay the piper, Aziz. That's what's happening in Gaza. Do you think anybody wants to go put up with the terror that you guys export? You never did address that. Why are you guys such terrorists, huh? Why do you kidnap people? You think that's okay?
You don't even know the truth anymore, do you, Aziz?
Aziz thinks this has something to do with race, but again, he doesn't know what race he is, do you, Aziz? You're just some vague sort of mishmash of a fake state created by England, aren't you? Isn't that true, Aziz? And now you are living a stranger in a strange land, Aziz, waiting for the world to turn against you.
Boring equal lines. Wait, you're describing a relationship where you have to raise money.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go back to my history here.
Because there's so much is at stake in politics, there's a lot of interest and money.
Oh, let's see. Well, I don't know what I did with it. Okay, let me just put on some meditation, prayer music.
Boring equal line.
What else can you tell us about sound healing? Sound healing has
become a global movement, not just because it
لدني إلهينو هرحنين بسلحون
Challenges.
لدني
Right. And when I look back at my life, I see all those
هرحنين
in the past they were very disruptive. But now I feel extremely grateful that they happened because I was given a choice. I was given change or not. And I chose not to die. And some people never have to face their consequences. And you can tell by the stagnant water that they're bathing in. Their political
No, Andre, I just wanted to say they found out. So they've all like kind of huddled into No. I believe in the ruthless John.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אדוני הוא האלוהים, אדוני הוא האלוהים. אדוני הוא האלוהים, אדוני הוא האלוהים. לאדוני אלוהינו הרחמים והסליחות, לאדוני אלוהינו הרחמים והסליחות. אל נא תשת עלינו חטאת, חטאנו צורנו, סלח לנו יוצרנו. שמע ישראל, אדוני
Yeah, we're gonna listen to the shofar very soon, actually.
This is Shema Israel, the Selichot Sephardic Yerushalmi tradition by Haggai Batzri, the Hazari Rabbi, or the Chazan Rabbi. Haggai Batzri, live from Jerusalem. I just want to say, no matter how hard our little buttercup tries, she'll never beat this Shema.
Yeah, but this is during Rosh Hashanah, bro. This is what you're playing. This is during Rosh Hashanah. It's not like they do this every day or every day or every Shabbat. When you're hitting the shofar like this, so.
Well, it says that this is a Sephardic tradition. Yerushalmi.
Yeah, I haven't heard the Shema like this, bro, at all. So.
I know. I
But
don't
it
know.
sounds like it's Sephardic because the Sephardics do everything fucking differently.
Yeah, they're playing some weird kind of violin instrument. I don't know what the instrument is that they're playing, but it sounds interesting. It's a very interesting Shema, but it is the Shema.
I believe it's an oud. I think it's an oud.
Oud, okay.
No, it's definitely some type of hairstring instrument. You hear that screeching? Like that's them rubbing a horsehair across some type of bass, basically.
Yeah, the Sephardics are really, they do things differently. Like, they don't eat meat.
We take
during,
long trips.
What's it
We
called?
puzzle over the meaning of a painting or a book.
They'll for like a certain amount of time, and not every Jew is doing this as well. So it's like different. They have different customs and traditions than Ashkenazis and Mizrahi.
Who cares about that? You and I'm poor.
Some of the you don't even know the truth anymore, do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it just depends. Like my grandfather, he doesn't either. Well, he doesn't, but like the Yemenites are not really known to follow that as well. So I don't know. It just really depends on how the culture and the tradition they're raised from. The way that they pray also sounds a little bit different too. Some of the prayers that they do.
And it feels like an eternity since I had you here with me, since I had to learn to be someone you don't know. To be with you in paradise. Don't forget to set your brakes.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to come into clubhouse rooms and just blast the Shema to people because you're fulfilling the mitzvah that they're supposed to be doing.
You know, we're definitely right now playing, blowing the shofar before as we go into battle.
Is it said that you're supposed to say the Shema, or can you just listen to the Shema?
No, you say it with your mouth and you draw out the final D, the D. You say it loud. You're sitting and you're covering your eyes, and the Baruch Shem Kavod you say quietly to yourself but audibly to yourself.
What do you think about the name Shema? It's a very feminine word.
Well, it's feminine maybe in English.
Well, what do you think? It's the opposite in Hebrew?
It means here. Shema, here.
It's interesting because here is Hira and Shema is Shema.
So, like hear or listen. That's really what it. Yeah. So.
Hear or listen. That's correct.
See what's going on in the other room. Remember how I got mad at Ewan for talking about religious stuff? He just fell for everything that I warned him about right now. And
Arlington Nissan has something for you. We have selection. Arlington Nissan has something for you because we never have.
Sucked his coworker's dick. Ewan said, "Yeah, but now I'm married. That was before."
Eternal companion, help us pour out our hearts to you honestly and sincerely. With these prayers as our guide, help us feel close to you, dear God. Life makes warriors of us all. To emerge the victors, we must arm ourselves with the most potent of weapons. That weapon is prayer. Actions, no place too far. First tell me this, is there some secluded spot in the vicinity where I can go to pray? Reb Nachman asked. He had just arrived in Breslov, the town whose name the Breslov movement has borne ever since. I know of a place that would be most suitable, the Chassid replied, but it's quite far from here. Father, Rebbe exclaimed, what do you mean by far? Far from the mind, from the heart? Reb Nachman later taught, when your heart yearns, distance is no obstacle. In praise, my God, I work and I strive, never knowing if I will succeed. You and only you can give hope to my dreams. With your help I am spared wasted efforts. With your blessing all hardship I endure can bear fruit. You and only you are the key to success in all that I do. Courage to grow, Almighty God, source of all the energy of life. Without you I am helpless. Give me the courage, the physical drive, the emotional energy, and the spiritual will to risk in order to grow, to welcome every challenge as my life unfolds. Full life. O life of the world, grant me a full life, a life which may be considered long because it has been filled with right living, and considered rich because it has been filled with holy acts. Making ends meet, source of all sustenance, sustain me nowadays, or even living simply, working only to acquire life's most basic necessities, demands so much. In the black, help me see my way out of this monstrous tangle of debts, the inevitable outlay for my children's needs, those overwhelming expenses and bills, those inescapable medical expenditures, but most of all, dear God, help me keep my account with you in the black. Body and soul, Holy One, grant me the strength to cast off the spiritual sluggishness and indifference which encumber my body. Let my body, together with my soul, soar ever closer to you. Teaching by being, dear God, teach me to embody those ideals I would want my children to learn from me. Let me communicate with my children wisely in ways that will draw their hearts to kindness, to decency, and to true wisdom. Dear God, let me pass on to my children only the good. Let them find in me the values and the behavior I hope to see in them. Wholeness and well-being, God of wholeness, God of healing. Envelop us with wholeness and well-being. Heal us in body and soul. Let all the elements of our bodies work together in perfect symmetry and in peaceful harmony. Remove every trace of illness, every hint of infirmity. Send the healing which you alone can bring. Sincerity, O you who are infinitely deep, yet also profoundly simple, help me walk this simple path. Free me from any facade of sophistication, which will only hinder my endless quest to come closer to you. Help me live my life with faith, with sincerity, and with perfect simplicity. Giving, my God, help me become a giver. Help me give, go on giving. You've called on us to be charitable. Show me how. Show me how to give with a pure heart, with an open heart, with a heart filled with joy. Lead me to those who are truly deserving, for giving is so holy an act. Help me find the truly needy and help them find me. True nourishment, dear God, teach me to eat right and to eat for the right reasons. Keep me from eating the wrong foods and from eating more than I should. Let all that I eat nourish me, never weaken or harm me. Let the food I ingest create a perfect balance within me, in my body, mind, and soul. Gaining perspective. Dear God, I need your guidance. Bring perspective to my life. For the meaningless allures of this world control me. Let me see beyond the coarse requirements of my daily subsistence. Let me bask in that which is truly precious, in the beauty of my relationship with you, dear God. Working to live, though I have no choice but to work to support myself and those who depend on me. Let my job never dominate my life and psyche. Let me never be so caught up in the pursuit of my livelihood that I stoop to dishonesty in order to get ahead. Let me make no transaction without recognizing that any measure of success I might find, I can come only from you. Oh God, see my pain, see the constant tension and anxiety with which I must function, with which I don't function. Touch my life with your love and your strength. With your wisdom I have more than I can bear alone. Troubles, kind, loving, mighty God, stretch out your hand to strengthen me. Lift me up from my abyss, right my wrongs, turn my every failure into success. Look upon all my troubles and say enough. Priorities, oh God, help me fix within my mind the enduring truths of life. Let my every action be directed towards life's ultimate goals. For how can I face you, my Creator, without having invested all my days in preparation for that moment when I will meet you? How can I face you, source of my life, so long as I remain naked and barren, mired in the fantasies that form the substance of life's illusions? Living to the fullest, dear God, as I age, as hours turn to days. Days to weeks and weeks to months and months to years. Let none of my time be wasted or lost. Let me use my life to the fullest to become the person I am meant to be. In thanks, dear God, all the good I can do in this world will never match all the good you've done for me. All my acts of kindness will never equal all the kindness you've shown me. Even all the gratitude I can muster will never suffice to express my appreciation and thanks to you, my God. Words, Reb Nachman's mantra. I want to pray, to tell God everything I'm going through, and to ask for help. Chassid explained to Reb Nachman. When I'm finally alone and try to pray, the words don't come. Then Rebbe assured him, even just calling out to God, Ribbono Shel Olam, again and again is extremely beneficial. Once when informed that someone was able to recite 1,000 pages of Talmud, Reb No's son responded, yes, that is impressive, yet there are those of the Rebbe's followers who can repeat the phrase Ribbono Shel Olam 1,000 times. In praise, Master of the universe, you listen to the anguished cries and desperate walls of every one of your beloved children. You hear my incoherent cries. You comprehend my jumbled words. I try my best to reach you with my inadequate prayers. I call out to you and you understand. Prayer, God of life, help me pray with all the force I can muster. If only I could invest all my energy into each word, even into every letter of my prayers. I know that it would give me renewed strength, renewed spirit. Prayer to the Almighty is my life, says the psalmist. Please help me pray. Crying out to God, oh, how I want to cry out to you, God of strength, to cry undistracted, and with a pure heart help me pray with all my strength to raise my voice in resounding supplication until my own prayers strike my mind like thunderclaps and refine the innermost recesses of my heart. One true word, oh dear God, for once let me call out to you with one true prayer. Let me think one pure thought, cry one genuine cry, pray one absolutely sincere prayer. To you, dear God, prayer for healing, God of wholeness, God of healing, hear our words, accept our prayers, send a special blessing of healing to my son or my daughter, or my mother or my father, among all those of your children who are in need of your healing blessing. Openness, dear God, I want to open myself to you wholly, perfectly, and sincerely. I want to tell you about my doubts, my certainties, my weaknesses, my strengths, my failures, my successes. Breaking down the barriers, God. I want to break down every barrier that separates me from you. I want